Back to the Atrioc broadcast. Oh, wait, shit, we got shaky cam. Good to see you. What the hell's going on? Real side, thank you for the 7 months. OS Crew, thank you for the 40. Good. Goddamn, good to see you. Lots to talk about today. In the news, specifically, everything going on in Davos. 2 generational speeches. One from Mark Carney and one, of course, from the great Donald J. Trump. I want to watch them both. But I also want to check in on how everybody's doing. Wait, Caroline Ellison got released from prison? Wait, you're joking. She narked, though. She narked. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. No, that's fine. I forgot she narked. She snitched. She snitched on my dog, SPF. No, I think she actually, she didn't do the right thing because she was part of a fraud, but she did help them close the case. So I think it's fine. She gets out a couple years later. Have you heard about this Epstein guy? He's heard that his listing and it's crazy. I'm sorry, no. Epstein? That doesn't. If that was a real news story, it'd be a bigger deal. People would be talking about it more. Do you know what I'm saying? Hey, Big A! What does a man have to do to get a frickin' standing ovation around here? Come the frick on. I made it to my first Atrioc stream. What the fuck? Can we get a standing ovation? Can you guys stand up, please? It's a first-time chatter. I gotta welcome them in, dude. I stream once a week, bro. I gotta welcome in newcomers. A standing ovation is what we need. All right, great. Thank you for that. I'm making dinner, so I'm already standing up. It doesn't preclude you from clapping. Theo Emil Murray, thank you for the 36 months. What up, Big A? I'm taking a FINRA exam in a few hours tonight. Monka, really nervous. Hope the streams are going good. I wouldn't say streams with an S, but the stream currently, 3 minutes in, is going good. Thank you very much. Good luck on your test. Ari, my wife, is currently right now, as we speak. Is this legal to say? She's at jury duty. My wife is deciding. I have no idea what the trial is or whether she's even been selected. But in my mind, it's a very monumentous murder trial or something. And she and like 11 of the other jurors are all saying, he's guilty. And then she's like, but there's not enough evidence. And it's like a hung jury. And she's like, she's holding out and she's trying to like save this person. And that's how I picture it's going right now. Tell her to vote guilty no matter what. Texting my wife. Send someone to the electric chair because I want her to be home by dinner. Babe, just vote guilty. Just go. No need for. Did you wait? I'm sorry. Oh, by the way, someone gifted. I gotta say thank you for the gifties. Oh, I lost it. Damn it. Does it even show it here? Gifties. Oh, someone gave 5 gifted. I'm sorry, I missed it. Benny and the Jets. Oh, it was Red Pixel Racer 04. Thank you for the gifties. Did you have a message? No, you didn't even type anything. Holy shit. PP Barf. Thank you for the Prime and the 16 months. My God, what a username you have. Big A, I'm sorry to inform you that I must resign from your unemployed chatter's guard because I just got a job offer. W's. It's all part of my strategy to infiltrate all major employed organizations in this great country, and if not the world, with my chatters. One step at a time, folks. Class trader. Getting a job makes you a glass trader. Oh, really? You're working at Home Depot? You fucking class trader? You fucking bourgeoisie fuck? Hey, first time sub. Can I use my one time? Yeah, sure. What's your one time? It's your first time chat, not your first time sub. What's your one time? I should do. What do we think of Trump's action? This guy's first time chat message. Wait, is that? Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, what? Hey, Ox, I'll get to your message in a second. This is just so funny. This is such a funny first time chat message because it's like you're trying to like fit in with the crew. No, it's not about whether I am pro or anti-Trump. That's not even the funny part to me. The funny part is like that is such a. It's like trying to figure out what chat message to join this chat, but you've only watched like Big A clips in the past 3 months. It's just it's a funny thing. What do you guys think about? Yeah, it's like saying, "Oh, what do you think about the economy?" it's just a fucking funny intro. Hein Peep, thank you for the prime. Just say Glizzy next time. Hingle, thank you for the 3 years. I'm sorry. Axafir, thank you for the 2 primes. Anyway, if you're answering the question, I think we're going to find out today. Listen, I've been obviously critical of Donald J. Trump in the past, but I heard that today he delivered a truly generational speech at Davos where he brought out tons of really new phrases and sayings and thoughts that no one had ever heard about before. And once I watch that, I'm quite sure I'll be swayed. I'm quite sure that the rhetorical power of his words will overwhelm my petty criticisms. That's what I'm pretty confident in. But apparently also, Mark Carney had a great speech, and I want to watch that. Hey, Atrioc, I'm a first-time chatter. I'm slacking off at work at 4:30 in the morning watching you. Why are you working at 4:30 in the morning? Why would you consider that slacking? What, you showed up at 4:30? Oh, this is graveyard shift. Okay, great. Oh, a little overnighter. In that case, you should slack the whole time. You should, a remote work? Wait, is it a graveyard shift or is it remote work? Did you just wake up and start rising grinding and then say you're slacking off? I can't follow your crazy line of logic. It would be funny to be a rise and grind guy who does all the tropes of that culture, but accomplishes, like, doesn't do any work. Every night I set my alarm 4 in the morning. I wake up. I have a probiotic tea I mix with my fucking shake. And then I scroll TikTok. Dude, waking up early to get your scrolling TikTok in early is fire. Like, I notice when I wake up at 1 p.m. and I'm like low battery and tired and depressed and scroll TikTok, I can barely get a few hours in before I have to like get a meal or something. But when I set my alarm for 3:30 in the morning and I wake up and I stretch, drink water, and then I can really lock in and scroll for 6-7 hours. Yeah, for sure. I've had this thought before. Then you're cooked. Your brain is cooked. Keep it. Thank you for the prime. How's it going, old man? It's going fucking good. Can I show you guys something? This is just for you. It's also a slide in my maybe never to be released predictions. We're nearing the end of January. I would never release it if we didn't finish it by the end of January. So if I don't finish it, it'll become like a slowly all at once because I did put some work in. But if I don't do it, I'll show you this right now. This is, how do I show this? Okay. Can you have to be able to see what I'm seeing on my screen. This is my sleep tracker for the month of December when I was still doing a clip a day And this is the first month I tracked my sleep. The red is bad sleep. So you'll notice like that one is 4 hours, 20 minutes, 420, by the way. That's 6 hours. That's 5 hours, So most of these red lines are like 5 hours. So it's pretty red, right? It's a bad month. Like it's clearly most of the month I am sleeping 4 hours and I'm low battery. And my sleep debt for the month climbed by the end of the month to 7 hours. I don't know what that means, but my sleep debt's really high. All right. Check out the first month of January. It's mostly blue. It's almost all blue. And then the sleep debt has fallen to 0. I finally caught up. It's actually fucking blue's good. Now there's still some reds in there, but like that is awesome. It's like from all red to all blue almost. And I feel noticeably different. I'm not a sleep chud, if that's what you're saying. That's not what I was going for. I feel noticeably different. I've paid off my sleep debt. It's like a opposite of recession indicator. Pure sleep slop. Sleep cell. None of these words are in the Bible. What are you talking about? No. It's just, what was your one-time Hyox? Anyway, I'm just really proud of that. A low-key, high-key, because I feel better. Energetic. I don't feel like I'm on low battery. So it's cool. And it's a good start. Now, here's the problem. Here's where it gets a little dicey. And I gotta be fucking honest. So what if the second I start doing daily clips again in February, it goes right back to this? Oh, sorry. What if it goes right back to this? What if it literally changes nothing? Then I'm fucked. Then I got to really rethink about it. Okay, your message was, I love your content. Do you know of a Canadian streamer that's similar to how you present info? Your one-time message is, how do I jump ship to a Canadian? No! By the way, if you must know, it's XQC. It's XQC. It's the same. We have the same takes on everything. He just delivers it with more of a Quebecois accent. Okay? And a little bit faster on. He gets the words out quicker. I'm a little slow. So if you want to watch Atrioc but Canadian, who covers Canadian politics in a detailed and researched way, you go to XQC. And that's a fact. And that's a fucking fact. Canadians don't claim Quebec. Dude, you better. Canadians should claim all provinces. If you leave even one province unclaimed, I promise you it's going to be problematic. It's going to get snatched up. You need to claim all provinces. What about Atrioc, but not an old ass 30-something? I'm only 29. I don't know how to break this to you. This is going to sound wrong, but it's true. 29 is older than 33. I just want you to know that. Like it is true. You're mentally in a worse spot. You are more it's a fact. It's a fact. I don't know how to tell you this. So 29 is like the worst one to be. 29 sounds decrepit. 29's no, you'd rather be 30 than 29, honestly. 29's like all dread. 29's like you have homework due on Monday and it's Sunday night. That's at least 30, it's like it's Monday, you just got to deal with it. Do you know what I'm saying? 29's terrible. I got no help for 29-year-olds. After 25, you're about 40. That's just not true. That's not true. That's not fucking true. I was broke and hoeless at 29. Now I'm 34 and a wife guy. I hope you don't call your wife a hoe. I don't, because technically you should still consider yourself hoeless. Do you know what I'm saying? You should. That should be. Mm, I thought he was homeless. No, you added that. He might have been homeless and homeless. They often go together, unfortunately. Atrioc, what is your take on the ethics of anti-aging, reversing age technologies? Well, it really depends on the technology, right? You're talking about Peter Thiel having a blood boy, or are you talking about like jogging? like what exactly are you talking about? There's like different things to prevent and slow and reverse aging. I think a blood boy is pretty insane. I wouldn't say they're measuring your son's nighttime erections to compare to yours. Talk about the Brian Johnson stuff. I don't know. Unless he's doing blood boy stuff, I don't know that Brian Johnson is particularly unethical. I could be wrong. I'm not actually deeply knowledgeable about Brian Johnson. I thought he was just like weird looking. It's just like, it's like eating supplements and shit, right? Using the skin of their kids. I think Brian Johnson is chilly, just a bit weird. I mean, yeah. It's kind of, in my mind, it's kind of good that a Brian Johnson exists because I want somebody to waste their life doing this stuff so we can get like an ounce of good research out of it. I don't want to do it, and I don't want it to be you know what I'm saying? I want somebody to like throw their body on the fire. And that's fine. That's a good test. What about a blood boy who jogs? Well, I mean, listen, I'm not pro blood boys, but if I was going to get a blood boy, I would make sure they jogged. I'm not getting a sedentary blood boy. I want blood that's been pumping. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're just not, that's just good. That's just good deal making. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm checking the steps per day. If you get Liam as your blood boy, you'll age. You'll age. You could be 70 years old, and if you're pumping Liam's blood in there, you're going to get older. It's not going to work. It's not going to help. You need someone with a little bit of athleticism. It's like, why is being a blood boy unethical, but giving blood is good? Well, I can actually answer that. You're phrasing that like it's like an ultimate gotcha, but it's actually very easy to answer. Giving blood is primarily for the purpose of hospitals, so they can have blood for when people are dying or bleeding out. A rich person using the advantage of their wealth to hook up to a financially needy poor person who's young and steal their blood is a little bit different. It's just a different ethical quandary. I wouldn't say steal, they'd pay for it. Job's a job. Hey, true facts. Blue Hazar, how are you today? I'm doing great, bro. I'm doing great. I'm actually doing fantastic. I have been, dude, I wish the Stan show would come up. I had a really nice interview with Stans on the Stan show. I talked about how I'm thinking about life lately and how I'm trying to put all these, this sounds so weird, financialized, and even a little sexual, but I'm trying to put a lot of deposits in a lot of friend banks. Which is like not the best way to phrase it, but I'm having lunch with people. I'm just spending more time with people in my life. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's fun. It's nice. I'm working out with my friend. You know, I'm just doing stuff with people. It's just an enjoyable way to spend my time for a brief period. And I understand that, that there is absolutely no reason that I shouldn't be able to do this. You're just being a yippy chud. Do you mean yuppie? I think I'm not. I think I'm more of a yippy chud. I think you're right because I'm saying yippee. I think you mean yuppie, but I'm more like yippee. You know, I'm like having a little more fun with it. It's also like, come on, bro. We got all this fucking. Have you sold your gold yet? I haven't sold a fucking ounce. No, I don't want to be. This is just a fuck thing to talk about right now. The economy's terrible, but I made an absurd amount of money on gold. I'm small. I'm fucking a goblin in the cave. I think it's literally up 105% since I bought it. It's like insane. That's all. That's such a lot of money. That's crazy. I'm about to get a blood boy. Anyway, any got blood? How many ounces for a blood boy? How many ounces of gold? Not that many. The price is at the price of blood, the price of gold, bro. Hey, Big A, studying for my actuary test. Big shout outs from Puerto Rico. Much love. Mellow Yellow PR. I hate to read into what you're saying, but watching my stream just because I'm older does not mean you're studying for your actuary test. Determining whether or not I'm healthy enough to live or die does not count as studying for your actuary tests. Okay? Did you see the Lakers game last night? I haven't missed the Lakers game this whole season, bro. I've watched them all. And I have some bad news, okay? Well, last night's different, but the joke I was making before is that I've started to read more news to escape from watching the Lakers. I've started, because the Lakers is too depressing, so I've started to consume more, keep up with what's going on. Just as like a little bit of a out. I'm retreating. They've had some bad games, bro, but the last two were incredible. God, Luka Doncic, man, he is truly the Atrioc of basketball, and we can all agree on that. Atrioc, when are you gonna go cleave shaved again? Why don't you let me worry about my facial hair? No plans. No plans till it itches. Did you ever play RE4 Remake? What's your 2026 games to playlist so far? It's probably those two. Silksong DLC, GTA 6, and Slay the Spire 2. Unless that got delayed. Slay the Spire 2, that's the fucking big one. GTA 6 Copium? You guys know it's coming out this year, right? You guys know it. Please do not pretend that GTA 6 is going to get delayed again. It's coming out this year. I promise you. I promise you. They're gonna force it out, bro. Didn't Rockstar HQ just explode? I mean, that would. GTA 6 is not coming out. I just want you guys to know. Do you guys remember? This is only like, I'm not kidding, 2 months before Silksong actually released. I was saying Silksong is going to come out this year, and people were saying, call walls of Copium. It was like in my hands 2 months from when I said it, and people were spamming insane, zero shot. It's coming out, dude. It's coming out. Did you, what do you mean Silksong is released? Silksong released April 1st? No, it's man wins lottery, claims he has a system. Yeah. And then the system is that, listen, I'm going to be 2 for 2. Silksong released last year. GTA 6 releases this year. I promise it. It's not going to be on PC. That's for sure. Some of you guys are PC Andies. I don't think it's going to be on PC. They're just too slow on that stuff. It'll be out on fucking consoles. I hope it comes out so I can complain that we got that instead of Bully 2 for another decade. You said GTA was last year too? Give me a link. Give me a link where I said it was coming out last year, dark crap. I want to see a video. I want to see proof. Don't just say that. Prove it. Librarian? Hi, Maisie. If GTA 6 releases this year, I'll gift 100 subs, but if it doesn't, I get perma VIP. Yeah, deal. That's the easiest deal of my life. Deal. I'm holding you to it, bro. 100 gifted when it comes out. I mean, you're going to pay for my GTA 6. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Otherwise, permaban? Yeah. That'll barely pay for half. You guys are such dude. GTA 6 not gonna come out this year, but if it does, it'll cost $1,000. Come on, dude. No, it's not. Like, what do you get out of this line of thought? Why do you psychologically need GTA 6 to be impossible to get or play? Predict the price? Ooh. No, that's a dicey one. I do think it'll be, what's the top end of a game right now? $80? I think it's 80 to 100, yeah. It's 80 to 100 in that range. It's not going to be above 100. I think it's 80 to 100. But probably what they'll do is like, look, base game costing 100 to get people so angry, even though it'll sell like crazy. I think what they'll do is like 80 or 70 base game, but it'll have like some kind of $20 to $30 add-on that's like important. That's like you can get it. It'll have like a microtransaction thing, or it'll have something. It'll have like day one DLC, or it'll have something. Or like an early, yeah, something. It'll have something. Yeah, oh, dude, I think playing it early probably will cost money. Yeah, for sure. Fishy Eyes, thank you for the 37 months. GTA 6 is going to be an all-time flop. That's a crazy take. GTA 6 is an all-time flop is a crazy take. I can't see it. I wouldn't say zero chance. People are saying zero chance. If it comes out and it's like Cyberpunk level buggy, could happen. Could happen. But I just can't. I can't see it, bro. I think it fucking bangs. I think it makes it, not bangs, but it makes a ton of money. What if it's woke? Oh no. What if it's woke? What if it's a psychological flop? What if it makes $100 billion, but it's woke? Oh no. That would be there would need to be an insane worldwide economic crisis for it to flop. Ooh, an economic crisis would only drive GTA sales up higher. It is the perfect form of escapism where you get hundreds of hours for a relatively low cost. An economic crisis would make everyone buy it. Plus, it'll be a training simulator for how you can steal cars in real life. Did you see that Senator Ted Cruz flew out to Laguna Beach today in preparation? Bro, I did see this. It is so funny. How he's 2 for 2. It is so funny, dude. Look at this. Bro got spotted January 20th, 2026 on a plane headed to Laguna Beach. Right as Texas faces another cold front, dude. That's goat status. You don't like to be chilly. Free my man Ted, dude. You don't like to be chilly. The second his state gets a little cold, he hightails it. It's a warmer climates, dude. He's on a beach. Why is Ted Cruz flying coach, dude? Yikes, brokey. Is he going to blame it on his kids this time again? That was a generational excuse. When Ted Cruz said I had to fly to Cancun to make sure my daughters got there safe. Fly immediately back. And it just happened to be timed with the giant cold freeze in Texas. That shit was gangster. I knew something that was on that plane. Dude, I was in Cancun. I was in Cancun at the time when I was waiting for Ted. Dude, I had a second Mai Tai. I was like, Ted didn't show up. The foresight of Ted Cruz on vacation planning is legendary. Yeah, dude, they should predict the weather around his vacations. If you're in Texas and Ted Cruz plans a beach vacation, you should you should start stocking up. You should bundle up. You should get a second blanket. This is true for what I'm also leaving. Maisie, why don't you and Linkus flee the cold plunge and come to LA? Come hang out with us. It's 72 and sunny here. Chipotle costs $40 for a burrito, but but it is 72 and sunny. Okay? Is that really how much it costs, or are you lying? I'd never, ever, 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 ever lie when it comes to three things, okay? Chipotle, God. I don't have a third one. Chipotle, God, and Donald J. Trump. No, it's $40 on Uber Eats if you were to order it. Chipotle, God, and the Lakers. I will lie about the Lakers, bro. I will lie. Ari starts walking past the fucking couch when I'm watching a Stream East laptop plugged into the TV, janky version of the Lakers. And she goes, "Are the losing Lakers on again?" And then she laughs all the way to her room. And so I do lie. I go, "No." No, they're clutching up. Her room, not yours. You figured it out. My wife's office, where she does cosplay props. You know what she's making right now? What's the I'm gonna find it. I found it. I'm a genius. Wait. This. She is dressing up like this guy from Expedition 33. Oskio. That's like the bad version of Esky. She's doing that. So she got the puff. She made this whole arm thing. It's like puffy, and she got the fabric. It's all galaxy looking. It's really cool. It's really cool. She's working on that. It's kind of a huge project, but she is working on it. The Frenchies got Ari. You got to save her, bro. She just loves that game. It's sad. It is sad. Although it is the first time I've seen her play a game that is hella difficult, I think. At least the part that she's on. And she's like truly Dark Souls locking in, dude. It's kind of like a minor spoiler. I don't know the fucking game that well, but there's like the hardest boss in the whole DLC, the whole game. The hardest, it's like the Fallen Star or something. And she can't beat that fight. It's I'm watching her. It's hard as shit. It's fucking hard as hell. That's not easy. Yeah, it's like crazy fucking hard. Like it's like the thing goes, it does a big wind up and then bam, bam, bam. bam, bam, bam. You have to like parry it all. It's crazy. So she's been grinding it like a few hours a day. Maybe not a few hours, but she'll sit down, try an hour of attempts, get a little bit better, and be like, she's been grinding it. I've never seen her do that. So that's pretty cool. We're talking about Get to Work DLC? No, we're talking about Expedition 33, but 2 all-time classic indie games, tell you that. Trust Seer, thank you for the 6 months. How's the Spanish learning going? I see a C. I'm just doing Babel daily. That's it. That's all I'm just doing a little bit at a time. Mr. L Jingles, thank you for the 32 months. Yo, Big A, thanks for thanking me for all my subs I ever gave you. That's the first person to ever say this. Glad to see you got off your 5-day break to thank me, Big G. Well, I just knew you were going to sub today, and I wanted to make sure I was here to give you the thanks you deserve. That's what I preferred. When are you going to start your talk about Mao Carney? Don't call him Mao Carney just because he's accepting some Chinese EVs, bro. There's a little more to it than that. He's not Marx Carney either. Icon Willie David, 57 months. Thanks for the twerk and jerk advice 5 years ago. Still living by this today. You're living by the advice that if you work, you twerk, and you jerk, that's a full day. 5 years you've been living on that advice? So most comically, you've been twerking every day. For 5 years, you've twerked. Okay. Interesting. I guess good for the glutes. Good for the cardio, good for hips. You know what? Maybe not wrong. Maybe not wrong. Minecraft Implosion, thank you for the 29 months. Mate, I got a real job for the first time, and 1 month in, I get a brain tumor. Moral of the story, don't ever get a job. I'm very sorry to hear about the brain tumor. I don't know that's the moral. Far be it from me, but I just don't want to. It might be correlation causation, dude. Scissors, thank you for the 2 months. Thank you, Atrioc. I started my YouTube channel. I'm about to release my second video because of you. I love your content. You're trying to be great. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Fancy Preston, thank you for the 5 months. Okay, listen. I mean, we can talk about a million things today, but I do want to talk about this. Okay, and maybe you're not interested, and I want to try and convince you that it's kind of important. All these world and business leaders meet up every year at Davos, and it's a bit of a circle jerk. It's a bit of a, for many years, it's been a kind of a do-nothing thing where they show up for this, again, World Economic Forum, and they yap and yap and yap, and nothing really changes, doesn't mean anything. But because of all the geopolitical and economic tension in the world, there's been some heavy hitters showing up this year, and the speech has been a little more impactful, a little more poignant, a little more based in reality. And it timed pretty well with all the stuff Donald Trump has been doing around Greenland, which again, I'm very proud of. This is kind of an off-the-cuff video, and I wasn't even trying to make clips in January. But the last video I made on Big A was called This Will Backfire. And I'm very proud of this video because I made it immediately after the announcement. And I correctly captured what I wanted to say, which is this is the single stupidest thing. Of all the things he's done, I actually believe it's the stupidest. I think the Greenland thing has done so much damage so quickly. It backfired immediately. And during Davos, the reaction was pretty swift. So he tried to double down on it by creating these new tariffs on 9 countries in Europe, basically economically pressuring them to say, if you don't give up Greenland, the tariffs will rise, even though we already had a signed tariff agreement with all of Europe, which has now been unwound, I believe. As of this morning, he backtracked on that, so big surprise. But this is about attention, and he was refusing to rule out military force. So countries in Europe were starting to send troops to Greenland. It was ratcheting up. So this is the context we go into Davos, this big meeting. And during this meeting, Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, who, by the way, was only elected, primarily because of Trump, because of Trump's threats on Canada, it allowed the unpopular party that Mark Carney supported to get some nationalistic pride and get elected in Canada. Trump would have a more like a more friendly leader in Canada had he not been so antagonistic to taking over Canada. Insane. So anyway, Mark Carney gets elected in Canada and gives a speech at Davos that really, and what's important here is that he wrote this speech himself. This wasn't a speechwriter. Mark Carney sat down and wrote a speech that I think really encapsulates the moment of what's going on right now with this ever-increasing great power rivalry, with this US-China divorce, with what's going on. And I truly think, we're going to watch the speech. We're going to watch it right now. It's only 15 minutes, I think. We're going to watch it. I truly think that Mark Carney is the most intelligent leader in the West right now, at least in the G7 economies. And I think it's not close. I actually don't think it's, I know that, I make fun of Trump, but I don't think anyone else is bringing what he's bringing to the table. I think he has a more clear-eyed understanding of what the world actually is. Like no rose-colored glasses, no, negative colored glasses, just an honest assessment of what's going on and where they stand. And I think this speech kind of sums it up. So let's watch it and we'll talk about it a bit. Okay, here it is.
I'm going
I need to not be a manager.
I'm going to start in French.
And again, I want to be super clear. He wrote this whole thing himself, which is not par for the course for major leaders giving speeches. Maybe they have input on a speechwriter, but he wrote the entire thing. And his background as a central banker, I think, has made him uniquely positioned to understand this moment. This end of cycle debt bubble economy, especially in the G7 countries, has put the world in a precarious position on top of the increasing antagonism from Donald Trump and from the world powers and from major powers in general, which are Russia, China, America, that are pulling the world in a different direction than it used to be. And I think he kind of laid it out pretty clear. So let's watch it.
And then I'll switch back to English. Merci Larry. C'est un plaisir et un devoir.
Wait, do we have the translated version? The one I watched had translations. Anyone have this? Because by the way, like if he's going to speak French, I'm going to take back everything I said, and it's the worst speech ever. All right, we'll just skip. The one I watched had translated.
En ce point tournant pour le Canada et pour le monde. Et je parlerai aujourd'hui de la rupture de l'ordre mondial, de la fin d'une fiction
No. I know it's only in the beginning, but the one I saw had subtitles for this part.
Agréable et de début d'une réalité brutale. La puissance. It seems.
Okay, here we go.
La puissance des moins puissants commence par l'honnêteté. It seems that every day we're reminded that we live in an era of great power rivalry, that the rules-based order is fading, that the strong can do what they can and the weak must suffer what they must. And this aphorism of Thucydides is presented as inevitable, as the natural logic of international relations reasserting itself. And faced with this logic, there is a strong tendency for countries to go along to get along, to accommodate, to avoid trouble, to hope that compliance will buy safety. Well, it won't. So what are our options? In 1978, the Czech dissident Václav Havel, later president, wrote an essay called The Power of the Powerless. And in it,
truly incredible essay and truly incredible guy. His life story is unbelievable. I learned about that guy from When Everyone Knows That Everyone Knows, that book we read for the book club. Truly impressive guy. Yeah, we'll talk about this in a minute.
He asked a simple question: how did the communist system sustain itself? And his answer began with a greengrocer. Every morning, this shopkeeper places a sign in his window: "Workers of the world unite." He doesn't believe it. No one does. But he places the sign anyway to avoid trouble, to signal compliance, to get along. And because every shopkeeper on every street does the same, the system persists. Not through violence alone, but through the participation of ordinary people in rituals they privately know to be false. Havel called this living within a lie. The system's power comes not from its truth, but from everyone's willingness to perform as if it were true. And its fragility comes from the same source. When even one person stops performing, when the greengrocer removes his sign, the illusion begins to crack. Friends, it is time for companies and countries to take their signs down. For decades. For decades, countries like Canada prospered under what we called the rules-based international order.
I want to go on this moment because this is what this is what that book was about, and I think it's important. He's summarizing here in a short thing, but the idea is like it's kind of a very Emperor's New Clothes moment, where even if two people both privately know that something is wrong, until it is public knowledge, people don't act on it. Human beings do not act on it. They need to know that other people agree with them. It's the power of like protest. It's actually, this book really changed my mind on protesting. There's like a thought you might have had in your own life where if you see people protesting, you're like, well, it doesn't do anything. They're protesting, but it doesn't mean anything. But in fact, it is the act of defiance in itself which allows people to coordinate because they know that they are not alone in their displeasure. So it is, I think he's getting on something very real here.
We joined its institutions, we praised its principles, we benefited from its predictability. And because of that, we could pursue values-based foreign policies under its protection. We knew the story of the international rules-based order was partially false, that the strongest would exempt themselves when convenient, that trade rules were enforced asymmetrically. And we knew that international law...
Someone's got a better audio. We're going to watch the better audio version because this is not the best version. I'm chafing at it, honestly. Okay. Let's. Oh, yeah. This is a banger.
That the rules-based order is fading. That the strong can do what they can, and the weak must suffer what they must.
Much better. And looks clearer, too.
And this aphorism of Thucydides is presented as inevitable, as the natural logic of international relations.
You mentioned that part, too, Thucydides. So there's the idea, a book, I think I've recommended before, called Thucydides' Trap. And Thucydides was writing about Athens and Sparta, which is a long, long time ago. But it's a general idea that whenever there's a dominant power and a rising power, conflict is almost inevitable. It's the fact that one power had the rules and systems in one way, and there's another power coming up. And the book describes all the times it's happened in history. And of like, I don't know, 50 times, only 4 didn't end in conflict. The most major being when America supplanted Great Britain. But this time around, it's like China rising as America's dominant power, and it does feel like it's leading to a lot of cracks. And that's even in a world where saner heads were in charge. This is like, I'm talking about regardless of Donald Trump, dude. Donald Trump is like truly tossing kerosene on the fire, and I think driving the truck in such an inane way. But even without that, it causes this tension.
Asserting itself. And faced with this logic, there is a strong tendency for countries to go along to get along.
Wait, we already watched this part.
When the greengrocer removed, and because of that, we could pursue values-based foreign policies under its protection. We knew the story of the international rules-based order was partially false, that the strongest would exempt themselves when convenient, that trade rules were enforced asymmetrically. And we knew that international law applied with varying rigor depending on the identity of the accused or the victim. This fiction was useful, and American hegemony in particular helped provide public goods, open sea lanes, a stable financial system, collective security, and support for frameworks for resolving disputes. So we placed the sign in the window. We participated in the rituals, and we largely avoided calling out the gaps between rhetoric and reality. This bargain no longer works. Let me be direct. We are in the midst of a rupture, not a transition. Over the past 2 decades, a series of crises in finance, health, energy, and geopolitics have laid bare the risks of extreme global integration. But more recently, great powers have begun using economic integration as weapons. Tariffs as leverage, financial infrastructure as coercion, supply chains as vulnerabilities to be exploited. You cannot live within the lie of mutual benefit through integration when integration becomes the source of your subordination.
I just want to say, so I've watched this speech. His main target here is obviously America, but he is also talking about China. The ultimate takeaway of this meeting is a call to action for the middle powers to band together to not get bullied. That is the main takeaway. I want you to understand, it's actually a legendary speech because without naming names specifically, he is calling out the middle powers of the world to form an alliance and a bloc to not get pushed around. Again, the examples he used there, the tariff example, that's obviously Donald Trump, but also he's mentioning the supply chain thing. You know, earlier in 2025, China right now is clamping down on rare earths to basically force Japan into doing exactly what they want with regard to Taiwan. Like the Japanese leader is going to have to back down with what they're doing on rare earths. It's just that it's happening either way. These two countries, America and China, have so much power. They have so much leverage that if you get on the wrong side of them, they can really pressure you. And I think what Carney is recognizing is that if you try to like even pick a side in this, if you try to like cozy up, you are in a losing battle. You have to have some strength. You have to muscle it up. And I think his speech here, I think he's going to mention some of these names, but it's calling on like Japan, the UK, parts of Europe, Canada, parts of BRIC to like come together and realize that if they work together, they are much stronger as a bloc than they are Australia, than they are as individual negotiators against these two giants.
The multilateral institutions on which the middle powers have relied, the WTO, the UN, the COP, the architecture, the very architecture of collective problem solving are under threat. And as a result, many countries are drawing the same conclusions, that they must develop greater strategic autonomy in energy, food, critical minerals, in finance and supply chains. And this impulse is understandable. A country that can't feed itself, fuel itself, or defend itself has few options.
True.
When the rules no longer protect you, you must protect yourself. But let's be clear-eyed about where this leads. A world of fortresses will be poorer, more fragile, and less sustainable. And there's another truth. If great powers abandon even the pretense of rules and values for the unhindered pursuit of their power and interests, the gains from transactionalism will become harder to replicate. Hegemons cannot continually monetize their relationships. Allies will diversify to hedge against uncertainty. They'll buy insurance, increase options.
This is incredibly true. And it speaks particularly to the stupidity of what Trump's doing. You know, what he's saying here is you can only, you can shear the sheep a bunch of times, but you can only skin it once. And the example I'm thinking of particularly is like earlier in 2025, Donald Trump put maximum leverage on Europe to get what was a remarkably good deal. All things considered, it was a remarkably US favored trade deal with Europe. And then he got even greedier. Do you understand? What he's saying here is like, there's no end to this. There's no end to giving in does not work. It just puts you on a weaker foot for the next thing. And what happened was the greed didn't stop. And then the trade deal, which they had already agreed to, Trump basically threw out the window by adding even more tariffs as part of a plan to get Greenland, which has now scrapped that old deal. So there's no winning in caving. That's not a long-term strategy.
In order to rebuild sovereignty. Sovereignty that was once grounded in rules but will increasingly be anchored in the ability to withstand pressure. This room knows this is classic risk management. Risk management comes at a price. But that cost of strategic autonomy, of sovereignty, can also be shared. I
do want to say, though, I mean, and again, this is already, I mean, we're only a third into the speech. It's already incredible. It's thoughtful and poignant and intelligent, you know, a clear-eyed look at the world. But at no point has he mentioned how windmills kill birds. At no point has he mentioned sleepy Joe Biden or his predecessor. He's not even mentioning, he hasn't shit on Trudeau. What he needs to, what's going on here? He's slacking. Like, I'm a little bit worried this speech is going to be a flop if he doesn't bring up the hallmarks of a great speech. He hasn't given a nickname to anybody. Where are the nicknames?
Investments in resilience are cheaper than everyone building their own fortresses. Shared standards.
It's also really annoying that he's only talking about global issues at this global event. Why not spend 30 minutes of the thing talking about local Canadian issues that only a Canadian would care about? Why not talk about like his arguments with someone in Alberta or like it's just weird. Like, you want to bring people in to understand your country a little better. He should be telling people how Canada's the hottest country on earth and how everyone else is talking about how hot it is.
Reduce fragmentations. Complementarities are positive sum. And the question for middle powers like Canada is not whether to adapt to the new reality. We must. The question is whether we adapt by simply building higher walls or whether we can do something more ambitious.
Yeah.
Now, Canada was amongst the first to hear the wake-up call, leading us to fundamentally shift our strategic posture. Canadians know that our old, comfortable assumptions that our geography and alliance memberships automatically conferred prosperity and security, that assumption is no longer valid. And our new approach rests on what Alexander Stubb, the president of Finland, has termed value-based realism. Or to put another way, we aim to be both principled and pragmatic. Principled in our commitment to fundamental values, sovereignty, territorial integrity, the prohibition of the use of force except when consistent with the UN Charter, and respect for human rights. And pragmatic in recognizing that progress is often incremental, that interests diverge, that not every partner will share all of our values.
I want to pause one more time. This is a word I've said a gazillion times on the stream, and I feel it echoed here, and I feel it embodied here. Uh, it's just so hard to get someone pragmatic elected ever. That's why I'm appreciative of this guy, and that's why I get so frustrated with online politics in general, because pragmatic people don't play well on social media. They don't play well on Fox News or on TV. Pragmatism is like the most valuable skill in a leader. Okay? It's the true ability to just focus on shit that works and to understand where you're actually at and try to make positive, sustained change towards better. Actually, I'll give a credit here. I've found, at least in the early days of this mayoral administration, I've been very impressed with the pragmatism of Zoran. I've been very impressed. I think he is pairing the ability to do a lot of good vibes, and then just when he gets in office, just do pragmatic things. I'm impressed with it. I mean, we'll see. I gotta, we gotta follow up more, but I'm impressed. But that's not what this speech is about. I just want to say, like, I think, it's something worth thinking about more when you're deciding how to live your life and how you support things. Pragmatism is important, man. Many of the great leaders in human history were just clear-eyed pragmatists. They were able to like make progress in uncertain times.
So we're engaging broadly, strategically with open eyes. We actively take on the world as it is, not wait around for a world we wish to be. We are calibrating our relationships so their depth reflects our values. And we're prioritizing broad engagement to maximize our influence, given the fluidity of the world at the moment, the risks that this poses, and the stakes for what comes next. And we are no longer just relying on the strength of our values, but also the value of our strength.
Obama online. Don DeMarco.
We are building that strength at home. Since my government took office, we have cut taxes on incomes, on capital gains, and business investment. We have removed all federal barriers to interprovincial trade. We are fast-tracking $1 trillion of investments in energy, AI, critical minerals, new trade corridors, and beyond. We're doubling our defense spending by the end of this decade, and we're doing so in ways that build our domestic industries.
And leaving out this some specifics, I just want to talk about what Canada has been doing under Carney and what this speech also lays out. I think he, as a central banker, is the first to see the writing on the wall of the debt bubble that backs all major economies, especially the G7 major Western economies. None of them have a plan to get out of the debt, and it's all spiraling into unaffordability. So we're entering a world where the financial-backed economy is getting replaced with an economy of real hard shit, of real, you call it atoms, of commodities, of timber and gold and oil and production and energy and, you know what I'm saying? That of goods and services, tangibility. And what he is doing in the short term, in a hurry, again, he only took office relatively recently, and I'm not going to be super kind here and say that Canada has a incredible economy going in. Canada has a very real estate-based, debt bubbly economy right now. He has inherited actually a very shaky Canadian economy. It's not great. But what he's trying to do is use what Canada has, which is enormous natural resources, and deep connections, deep ties with countries all over the world, to try and upgrade and prepare Canada's economy for what the future is going to be. So this is like things like trading oil, timber, lobster resources that they have to get things like, for example, this is one example, obviously they're trading Chinese EVs into Canada, but more importantly, he is taking a page out of China's book, which is where if BYD wants to build a factory in Canada, they have to do it as part of a joint venture with a Canadian company, which is what China did back in the day to like get all the technology. So now BYD brings their latest and greatest EV tech, but they have to build it with a Canadian company in Canada, and that builds up the process knowledge in Canada. This is what China did to like every major American and European manufacturer back in the day. It's just smart, okay? He's very clear-eyed, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying guarantee this will all work because again, Canada's real estate bubble is fucking massive. I can't imagine there's not a massive hangover from that. But it's smart. It's just like him playing the cards he's dealt in a smart way. And there's so few leaders that are doing that in the world right now. Most of them are either pretending they have different cards or burying their head in the sand.
We are rapidly diversifying abroad. We've agreed a comprehensive strategic partnership with the EU, including joining SAFE, the European Defence Procurement Arrangements. We have signed 12 other trade and security deals on 4 continents in 6 months. In the past few days, we've concluded new strategic partnerships with China and Qatar. We're negotiating free trade pacts with India, ASEAN, Thailand, Philippines, and Mercosur. We're doing something else. To help solve global problems, we're pursuing variable geometry. In other words, different coalitions for different issues based on common values and interests. So on Ukraine, we're a core member of the Coalition of the Willing and one of the largest per capita contributors to its defense and security. On Arctic sovereignty, we stand firmly with Greenland and Denmark and fully support their unique right to determine Greenland's future. Our commitment to NATO's Article 5 is unwavering. So we're working with our NATO allies, including the Nordic Baltic Gate.
Just a reminder, Article 5 is the rule that attack on any one NATO member is attack on them all, and they all must defend. The only time Article 5 has ever been invoked, I believe, was 9/11, by the way. America said an attack on America is attack on all of us, and then all of NATO had to join them in Afghanistan. I believe is the only time Article 5 has ever been invoked. But the idea is that if America were to attack Greenland, which I believe is not happening now, Trump did back down today after the market, then attack on Greenland would have been invoking Article 5 and be, I guess, war between America and the rest of NATO.
To further secure the alliance's northern and western flanks, including through Canada's unprecedented investments in over-the-horizon radar, in submarines, in aircraft, and boots on the ground, boots on the ice. Canada strongly opposes tariffs over Greenland and calls for focused talks to achieve our shared objectives of security and prosperity in the Arctic. On plurilateral trade, we're championing efforts to build a bridge between the Trans-Pacific Partnership and the European Union, which would create a new trading bloc of 1.5 billion people. On critical minerals, we're forming buyers clubs anchored in the G7 so that the world can diversify away from concentrated supply. And on AI, we're cooperating with like-minded democracies to ensure that we won't ultimately be forced to choose between hegemons and hyperscalers.
This is the toughest one. I'm just being real. I think Carney's got clear eyes. I think he's doing the right thing. At the rate it's going, it is going to be difficult to not have the AI stack run through America or China. That's the way it's looking right now, which is going to be a problem. It depends on how integrated it is and how important it is, but that's where it's going. Dude, what's crazy is like, this is kind of a separate topic, but I know people that are working on like, this is real. I know these people. They are working on nuclear energy AI startups in America, but because the cost of the Chinese models is cheaper, they build their back end on like Kimi and like DeepSeek because they're open source and cheaper. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So that's a whole different story we should talk about. But I would say that is a bigger strategic threat because resource-wise, I mean, there's nothing lacking in the countries he's talking about. Honestly, that it's such a smart idea to build these coalitions of the middle powers who collectively have massive populations, massive natural resources, shared values. It's an incredible idea. That's why Power Street. But I do think tech is one area where the spoils go to the leaders so much more exponentially, and China and America are way ahead.
This is not naive multilateralism, nor is it relying on their institutions. It's building coalitions that work, issues by issue, with partners who share enough common ground to act together. In some cases, this will be the vast majority of nations. What it's doing is creating a dense web of connections across trade, investment, culture, on which we can draw for future challenges and opportunities. Argue the middle powers must act together because if we're not at the table, we're on the menu. But I'd also say that
That's a bar. Middle powers got to unite because if we're not at the table, we're on the menu. That's actually a bar. I didn't remember hearing that. That's good.
Great powers can afford for now to go it alone. They have the market size, the military capacity, and the leverage to dictate terms. Middle powers do not. But when we only negotiate bilaterally with a hegemon, we negotiate from weakness. We accept what's offered. We compete with each other to be the most accommodating. This is not sovereignty. It's the performance of sovereignty while accepting subordination. In a world of great power rivalry, the countries in between have a choice. Compete with each other for
he's essentially, someone in chat said it, but that's a very wise point. He's essentially talking about a union of the middle income countries of the earth against America and China to just get what they need from them without kowtowing to them. It's a smart idea. It's a smart idea.
Favor or to combine to create a third path with impact. We shouldn't allow the rise of hard power to blind us to the fact that the power of legitimacy, integrity, and rules will remain strong if we choose to wield them together. Which brings me back to Havel. What does it mean for middle powers to live the truth? Well, first, it means naming reality. Stop invoking rules-based international order as though it still functions as advertised. Call it what it is, a system of intensifying great power rivalry where the most powerful pursue their interests using economic integration as coercion. It means acting consistently, applying the same standards to allies and rivals. When middle powers criticize economic intimidation from one direction but stay silent when it comes from another, we are keeping the sign in the window. It means building what we claim to believe in. Rather than waiting for the old order to be restored, it means creating institutions and agreements that function as described. And it means reducing the leverage that enables coercion. That's building a strong domestic economy. It should be every government's immediate priority. And diversification internationally is not just economic prudence, it's a material foundation for honest foreign policy, because countries earn the right to principled stands by reducing their vulnerability to retaliation. So
this is what, just to break it down, Canada is aggressively diversifying because right now, so much of their trade, so much of their exports, so much everything runs through America. And they have plenty to trade with the rest of the world, but they haven't. They haven't built those relationships and they haven't built those pipelines. And once they have that, they're no longer under so much pressure in negotiations. That's just smart. It's just smart. And again, it's one of the great, I think, shooting yourself in the foot of this Donald Trump term 2 is the aggressive forcing allies to do this. just it's like this would have naturally happened anyway. This is just a consequence of what they have to do. But man, the speed and the urgency that he's put on them to route their trade outside of America to a reduced dependence is crazy.
Canada. Canada has what the world wants. We are an energy superpower. We hold vast reserves of critical.
Heated rivalry, right? That's what they have. Gay hockey, yowie. Isn't that the big export right now? Isn't that what everyone's trying to get?
Minerals. We have the most educated population in the world. Our pension funds are amongst the world's largest and most sophisticated investors. In other words, we have capital, talent. We also have a government with immense fiscal capacity to act decisively. And we have the values to which many others aspire. Canada is a pluralistic society that works. Our public square is loud, diverse, and free. Canadians remain committed to sustainability. We are a stable and reliable partner in a world that is anything but. A partner that builds and values relationships for the long term. And we have something else. We have a recognition of what's happening and a determination to act accordingly. We understand that this rupture calls for more than adaptation. It calls for honesty about the world as it is. We are taking the sign out of the window. We know the old order is not coming back. We shouldn't mourn it. Nostalgia is not a strategy.
That's a bar too. Nostalgia's not a strategy. It's kind of crazy we're living through this. I mean, just to be clear, like your parents, their entire lives lived through the system he's talking about. It has been around for our entire lives and our parents' entire lives. And even older than, I mean, at least 1945, you know what I'm saying, till now. Like that is the system he's talking about. And he's saying it, this speech kind of declares it dead. It's a really big moment that we're living through. A big uncertain question mark. It's not awesome to be living through it. The peak of it was a really great time for most people, especially in the countries we're talking about. The peak of it was the greatest middle class broadly the world has ever seen. The boomers got an incredible run, but it is shelled out now. And he's the first one to, you know, the emperor's new clothes story. He's the boy that stands up and says, hey, this guy's naked. He's saying it in front of this crowd, just be like, hey, let's just be fucking real. Everything we've been talking about doesn't exist anymore.
But we believe that from the fracture, we can build something bigger, better, stronger, more just. This is the task of the middle powers. The countries that have the most to lose from a world of fortresses and a most to gain from genuine cooperation. The powerful have their power. But we have something too. The capacity to stop pretending, to name reality, to build our strength at home, and to act together. That is Canada's path. We choose it openly.
So I thought he was talking about building a new united coalition of middle powers to maintain sovereignty. But a Spectacore is Canadian in my chat, and he said he's talking about building a femboy Hooters. So maybe I misinterpreted. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm only an American. I can't fully understand. I thought he was more talking about, maybe I completely misread this. I might have botched the analysis. Maybe it's both. Maybe that's just
and confidently, and it is a path wide open to any country willing to take it with us. Thank you very much.
Good speech. Again, I like to be clear-eyed myself. I like to be a realist myself. There's no guarantee that, now Canada's in a perfect spot and it's going to be great. Canada, particularly economically, has a lot of challenges, and he's been set up with. But that speech is a reminder that a pragmatic, intelligent person can look at the cards they're dealt and play them well. And like, it's so frustrating because I feel like I live in a country where Donald Trump was handed some of the best cards in human history and is playing them like a fucking chump. I feel like he's playing them so stupid. And it's just nice to see somebody who got dealt a worse hand play it smart, play it intelligently. Like, yeah, I don't know. The message he's sending to other countries is a smart one. Other countries with similar values and similar situations are looking at him and thinking, we can make something work here as a common interest. Anyway. Is there a Q&A? I didn't watch the Q&A. I can watch a little bit of it.
Well, thank you, Prime Minister. I don't think I've seen many standing ovations at Davos, so that was interesting. You said there was a phrase in your speech where you said sovereignty now.
I saw there's only been 3 standing ovations in Davos history. I don't remember who the other 2 were, though. It doesn't matter. We'll watch this.
Is the ability to withstand pressure.
Oh, Zelensky
Isn't
and Mandela?
Canada almost uniquely vulnerable to pressure because of the extent of your trade dependence on the United States?
It was Trump and Trump?
The proof is that we have been able to withstand the pressure, and there has been considerable pressure. I'll give you a couple of facts. We've actually created more jobs since the tariffs were put on than the United States in absolute number. Economy is growing at the second fastest rate within the G7. That's not, there are pockets.
It's a low bar, though. G7's cooked, bro, in terms of real growth. I do want to say, there was a study. This might shock you guys, but I want to push back on some shit I've been hearing, okay? A lot of you have been saying that, Donald Trump was wrong, and it's actually Americans who pay the tariffs. And I want you to know that a fucking wide-ranging, deep study has just been done after a year, and the truth is you're dead fucking wrong, okay? Americans are only paying for 96% of the tariffs. It turns out that only 96% of the costs got passed on. Wait, I have a Fortune subscription. Why am I fucking... 1 second. So, libs owned, first of all. That 4% is going to eat you up. I'll just... Let's see. The report suggests that tariffs have actually cost Americans more money. To claim that foreign countries pay these tariffs is a myth, wrote Julian Hines, research director. Americans are footing the bill. Yeah, I mean, this is... And so that was the main thing, was like, other countries would pay them, but in fact, it's just turned into a tax. It's just a tax on tariffed goods that we all have to pay that puts more money in Trump's pocket to spend on useless crap. And then manufacturing jobs are down. Manufacturing has fallen off a cliff since April Liberation Day. So the gains are so non-existent for what the stated aims were.
Of extreme pressure without question in Canada. But headline, we're reacting. The second thing, and it's a fundamental point, is the recognition that we can give ourselves far more than any foreign country can take away. There's lots of efficiencies in having one Canadian market, the $1 trillion of domestic investment, and building these partnerships abroad, all of which are bigger returns than what's been lost. That's not to say we would rather not lose it, but we can withstand the pressure, and we are.
And I was interested that you said basically the old world's not coming back. So you're not seeing this as a period where you just have to get through and normalcy will return.
I think that is our view. And we regret it, but we're not going to sit around and mourn it. We're acting. And we're acting in a way, both that's in our interests, but we believe in a way with others that's building imperfectly in steps a new system. I'll give you one example and hand back, which is we are members of trade agreements that comprise already 1.4 billion people around the world. So we have the most extensive network. We are trying with others to bring some of those networks together. The most prominent example is the Trans-Pacific Partnership in the EU, acting as a bridge. It's not a direct benefit for Canada, but it is a benefit for Canada that these groups come together. And Ngozi is here, consistent with the WTO rules, both of which are. And in that way, we're building back out amongst willing partners.
And
all right, so you're listening to him talk and you're thinking, this guy's a snoozer. All this guy cares about is real functional steps to help benefit the economy long term. Boring, okay? I don't want to hear about trade partnerships. And so let's hear the other major speech from Davos. Let's pull that up. Now, I don't want to watch this full thing, honestly, because it's too long. He did not keep it contained, unfortunately. But when you're a major world leader like Donald Trump, you have more to say. Let's just take a look. Let's just watch.
This leader, Donald.
I can't believe how long this is. We're not going to walk over. Donald. I just want to see, what direction does he take here?
Well, thank you very much, Larry. It's great to be back in beautiful Davos, Switzerland, and to address so many respected business leaders, so many friends, few enemies, and all of the distinguished guests. It's a who's who, I will say that. I've come to this year's World Economic Forum with truly phenomenal news from America. Yesterday marked the one-year anniversary of my inauguration, and today, after 12 months back in the White House, our economy is booming, growth is exploding, productivity is surging, investment is soaring, incomes are rising, inflation has been defeated, our previously open and dangerous border is closed and virtually impenetrable.
Wow.
And the United States is in the midst of the fastest and most dramatic economic turnaround in our country's history.
Dude, he talks to these people like they're about to vote in Ohio. These aren't Americans, bro. They're not about to vote. They're not. His inability to change a speech based on the audience is wild for me. What is the goal here?
History. Under the Biden administration, America was plagued by the nightmare of stagflation, meaning low growth, and high inflation, a recipe for misery, failure, and decline.
Dude, we're fucking.
But now, after just 1 year of my policies, we are witnessing the exact opposite. Virtually no inflation and extraordinarily high economic growth. Growth like I believe you'll see very shortly our country has never seen before, perhaps no country has ever seen before.
Wow.
Over the past 3 months, core inflation has been just 1.6%. Meanwhile, fourth quarter growth is projected to be 5.4%, far greater than anybody other than myself and a few others had predicted. Since the election, the stock market has set 52 all-time high records. So that's in
I gotta turn it down.
1 year, 52 records, adding $9 trillion in value to retirement accounts, 401ks,
Dude,
and people's savings. People are doing very well. They're very happy with me.
they're just not. They're just not. Can we just be real, Donnie T? You know I support you 100%. It's just they don't get it, but they're not happy with you. I think today he hit, let me confirm. I think he hit his absolute lowest. I think it dropped to like his new second term low. 36% or something. And again, the number one negative issue is the economy. So the fact that he's talking about it like everyone is super happy with it is absurd. It's absurd. It doesn't, yeah. But, I mean, he also said this, and he was dead right. As you guys know, 1 year ago today, Donald Trump said,
energy and electricity in half. I will cut the price of energy and electricity in half. Ready? 12 months from January 20th, I take office on January 20th, your electric bill, including cars, air conditioners, heating, everything, your total electric bill will be 50% less. We're going to cut it in half. I will cut the price of...
So that was yesterday. Yesterday was 12 months from that promise. All the data I could find, which was obviously a fucking fake liberal hoax, said that energy prices went up all of 2025, which I thought was strange. I thought for sure it would have, but apparently they went up the whole year. So I couldn't find like a real ONN source
Energy.
or whatever, but you can just understand, Trump, why some people might not believe you, even if I know you're doing the right thing. It's like some people are just, they're falling for the hoaxes.
Since my inauguration, we've lifted more than 1.2 million people off of food stamps, and after 4 years in which Biden secured less than $1 trillion of...
You didn't lift them off food stamps. You just cut the food stamps. I'm sorry to laugh at that, but that's such a funny way to phrase it. You didn't lift them out of the needing of food stamps. You just stopped providing them. That's such a different... Food insecurity is still the problem.
Of new investment in our country. Think of that, 1 trillion, substantially less than that. In 4 years, we've secured commitments for a
20
record-breaking $18 trillion, and we think when the final numbers come out, they'll be closer to $20 trillion of investment.
I threw that out as a joke, bro. I threw that out as a fucking joke. That's awesome. That's so awesome. And that's going to be 21 next time. I promise you, bro. That's going to be 21.
That's never been done by any country at any time, not even close.
Yeah, you're right.
Just
you're
over
right.
1 year ago, under the radical left.
That has never been done by any country at any time. You are 100% correct. Very true.
Democrats, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. In fact, the United States economy is on pace to grow at double the rate that was projected by the IMF just last.
It's just baffling to me. It's just baffling, dude. I wish people could understand how stupid this is. I guess they do. I guess most people do. But do you understand, like, even if you agree with Donald Trump 100% here, even if you believe in your heart of hearts, America only, America alone, best in the world, first in everything, hottest country, at the very least, on even a pure, like, self-interest way, why not just get up on stage and say, hey, America really values our phenomenal partners overseas, and we want to work together to build, based on our values, a shared trade network that'll bring prosperity to both of us, that we can win-win on, okay? Some of the old systems aren't working, but we are trying to grow our economy for the future. We're trying to onshore our manufacturing, but we can do it in a way that benefits us and our allies. We can work together. It can be, do you know what I'm saying? That's like, I just spitballed that off the tip of my dick. And that would have, it's so easy when you have America's cards. It's not that hard. All you have to do, do you know what I'm saying? It's crazy to be openly, boorishly antagonistic at a speech like this. Just might as well not even go. Why even show up?
April. And with my growth and tariff policies, it should be much higher. I really believe we can be much higher than that. And this is all great news, and it's great for all nations. The USA is the economic engine on the planet. And when America booms, the entire world booms. It's been the history. When it goes bad, it goes bad. You all follow us down, and you follow us up, and we're.
Dude, I can't imagine being a world leader listening to this and not thinking, even if you fucking, dude, here's an example. Wait, I have to, actually, this is so perfect. I need to find it. There's a conservative leader of Canada. I think it's Harper. And he did, by all economic measures, a good job during his time running Canada. Okay? He was a pragmatist, Stephen Harper. Okay, he was a pragmatist. Canada's middle class, pretty well done. Okay, he had a speech. He said something. Harper. Let me see. Here, listen to this. This is incredible. Okay, this is incredible. He's the most pro-American prime minister in Canadian history. Okay.
Consecutive months, trade with the U.S. has actually gone down from Canada. So I want to get your perspective on what's the longer-term view in terms of trade from Canada, and then also what would you want to tell our American colleagues here?
Look, I was just gonna put it in this context, just so everyone understands. You know, I think it's fair to say, probably the most pro-American prime minister in Canadian history. And I tell people that if a year ago the government had asked me, President Trump's coming in, he's talking about, big challenges on trade, USMCA, tariffs, what would you advise? I would have said a year ago, this is a real opportunity for Canada to really deepen its economic and security partnership with the United States. However, when this government did actually ask me a few weeks ago, my advice was the opposite. My advice was, yes, on the economy, we've got to kind of get something short-term worked out with the Trump administration, but this really is a wake-up call for this country to truly diversify its trade export markets. That's why we did sign the trade deals all around the world, Europe, Asia, Pacific, the Americas.
Just think about that. It's the most insane, blunderous fucking oafishness on Trump's side. Like, this is a guy that, you know what I'm saying? This guy, if this guy is saying, look, we got to diversify. We can't be sole partners with America. Do you understand how much you fucked up?
Americas and Canada has been, to be blunt, this is nothing against the U.S. The reality is, independent of the current disputes, Canada has been, to use business term, and I'm in the investment business now, we have been grossly overweight the United States as a country.
Don't call us fat, Stephen Harper.
And there is no reason for that. Just because we have that geographic proximity does not justify the degree of dependence that we have on a single market, which is sometimes disadvantageous.
No, I mean, he's just saying in, economic terms, they've been overweight, as in they've over-relied on the United States. They've over-relied on that as one trading partner, and they have to diversify. And like Trump being the wake-up call for that for someone like Stephen Harper is just insane, because that means you have to absolutely be giving speeches like this and doing things like saying 51st state and like just cartoonishly obnoxious shit to your allies. So they are forced to wake up and realize that the threat of being your partner is that bad. It's crazy.
At a point that I don't believe we've ever been. I never thought we could do it this quickly. My biggest surprise is I thought it would take more than a year, maybe like a year and 1 month. But it's happened very quickly. This afternoon, I want to discuss how we have achieved this economic miracle, how we intend to raise living standards for our citizens to levels never seen before, and perhaps how you too and the places where you come from can do much better by following what we're doing, because certain places in Europe are not even recognizable, frankly, anymore. They're not recognizable. And we can argue about it, but there's no argument. Friends come back from different places. I don't want to insult anybody, and say, I don't recognize it. And that's not in a positive way. That's in a very negative way. And I love Europe, and I want to see Europe.
It's funny because, so there's these parties in Europe that are more like anti-immigrant that have been doing very well. They've been growing pretty rapidly. And they've been ideologically aligned on some level with Trump and what he's saying in this speech. So you can say like the AfD, or the RN in France, Maloney, though less so, she's a little bit more. But these parties. But what's so funny is, I'll give you an example, or like, what's the Geert Wilders party? Forget what it's called. Or Farage in the UK, okay? What's so funny is his actions around the Greenland stuff, the PVV, yeah. His actions around Greenland and around the tariffs are hilariously, much like the Canada example, weakening those parties. The Geert Wilders party just had like 9 defections after this Greenland thing. Like, he is actually hurting his only allies in Europe. The people that he like, it doesn't work on any level. He's just dumb, bro. It's so funny because on a European level, Trump is almost like, you'd be like, this guy's so based, he's helping us out. I promise you this, like, if the RN somehow doesn't win in France, I think they're still polling number 1, but if they somehow don't win in France, it'll be because of Trump tanking their brand. That's so funny. That's crazy. He really is. He's sent from the future. He's some fucking European sent him in the future. Play 4D chess. It's
Go good, but it's not heading in the right direction. In recent decades, it became conventional wisdom in Washington and European capitals that the only way to grow a modern Western economy was through ever-increasing government spending, unchecked mass migration, and endless foreign imports. The consensus was that so-called dirty jobs and heavy industry should...
Right, and you've replaced it. Those were the big 3 you said. Mass migration, endless government spending, and imports. And you replaced it with no migration, no imports, triple the spending. Is that better? I don't know that you've made it so much drastically better. I think you've just what is that?
Be sent elsewhere, that affordable energy should be replaced by the Green New Scam, and that countries could be propped up by importing new and entirely different populations from faraway lands. This was the path that Sleepy Joe Biden administration and many other Western governments very foolishly followed, turning their backs on everything that makes nations rich and powerful and strong. And there's so much potential in so many nations. The result was record budget and trade deficits and a growing sovereign deficit driven by the largest wave of mass migration in human history. We've never seen anything like it. Quite frankly, many parts of our world are being destroyed before our very eyes, and the leaders don't even understand what's happening. And the ones that do understand aren't doing anything about it. Virtually all of the so-called experts predicted.
I want to talk something real quick. We're talking about the trade deficit. So, I don't know if you guys know this. In October of 2025, the most recent update that we've had on our trade deficit, America had the lowest trade deficit it's had in decades. I mean, it was actually since June 2009. Maybe Trump did something. All right, maybe. Let's look at this. Okay, incredibly low. He shrank it. And you might be thinking, wow, he's done it. It's the tariffs. The problem is, so trade deficit is the difference between imports and exports, right? So all that really happened was there was a massive surge in imports right before the tariffs. And now people are using what's stockpiled in warehouses, so they're importing less, okay? And the second thing is we've exported not more manufacturing, not more, anything built in America. We've started to export a fuck ton more gold. Okay? Gold made up 90% of the rise in exports. So all that's really happening is the tariffs have made it more expensive for us to buy things from other countries, so our imports are going down. We're not making anything here. And then our gold is flowing out of the country. As the price of gold goes up, countries and central banks all around the world are buying gold. And the gold is flowing from within America to out of America. And so that is creating this trade deficit narrowing. But it's not, it's so fictional. There's not like an actual increase in real manufacturing capacity that we're like competing with China on. We're just, all our hard assets are flowing out of the country. I don't know. It's a very foolish thing to point to as a good thing.
Did my plans to end this failed model would trigger a global recession and runaway inflation. But we have proven them wrong. It's actually just the opposite. In 1 year, our agenda has produced a transformation like America has not seen in over 100 years. Instead of closing down energy plants, we're opening them up. Instead of building ineffective, money-losing windmills, we're taking them down and not approving any. Instead of empowering bureaucrats, we're firing them, and they're going out and getting jobs in the private sector for 2 and 3 times what they were making in government. So they started off hating me when we fired them, and now they love me. Instead of raising taxes,
everybody that Doge fired is actually super stoked because they went out to this incredible job market that we all know, and they got 2 to 3 times what they were making. That's why nobody is trying to get a stable government job right now, because everybody's like, there's just so many incredible opportunities in the private sector. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Taxes are domestic producers. We're lowering them and raising tariffs on foreign nations to pay for the damage that they've caused. In 12 months, we have removed over 270,000 bureaucrats from the federal payrolls, the largest single-year reduction in government employment since the end of World War II. Nobody thought that was coming, but we had no choice. To make a country great, you can't have all federal jobs. We've cut federal spending by $100 billion and slashed the federal budget deficit by 27% in the single year. It's going to go down quite a bit more from that.
No,
driving inflation way down from the record highs of the Biden administration.
The deficit is not down.
Every month they went up and up and up. I promised to cut 10 old regulations for every single new regulation. But instead, I've cut, actually, till this point, 129 regulations for every one new regulation approved. So every time they come in with a new regulation, we do at least 10, but so far it's averaging out to 129, if you can believe it. In July, we passed the largest tax cuts in American history, including no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. We also provided 100% expensing. That's the one they like. And bonus depreciation for all new equipment and capital investments to help companies expand and shift production to America. They are so in love with that. They build a plant, they're able to deduct it immediately, the whole thing, rather than waiting 38 to 41 years in the old days. This is a miracle taking place. Nobody thought it would ever be done by any country.
It's not
It's done by
happening.
us. Was what made my first term the most successful 4-year term that we've ever had from a financial standpoint. And now we've upped it. This is a 10-year program, not a 1-year program. But you're allowed to deduct everything in 1 year. It used to be 38 to 40.
Why is he talking about the factory tax deduction policy?
41 years. With tariffs, we've radically reduced our ballooning trade deficit, which was the largest in world history. We were losing more than $1 trillion every single year, and it was just wasted. It was going to waste. But in 1 year, I slashed our monthly trade deficit by a staggering 77%.
All gold.
And all
gold
of
leading the
this
country.
with no inflation, something everyone said could not be done. There were a couple of brilliant people that actually thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was doing the right thing. Now they all think I'm doing the right thing because they can't believe the numbers. American exports are now up.
I don't know why, dude. He's still, I gotta say it. You know, Trump still finds a way to crack me up, bro. Something about it. It's kind of shocking. You can just get up there and say that. Now they all love you. You think that's true? Every economist who predicted the damage of tariffs based on these numbers is now, you're a genius.
By more than $150 billion, domestic steel production is up by 300,000 tons a month, and it's doubling over the next 4 months. It's doubling and tripling, and we have steel plants being built all over the country. Nobody thought they'd see that. Factory construction is up by 41%, and that number is really going to skyrocket right now because that's during a process that they're putting in to get their approvals, and we've given very, very quick, fast approvals. In the process, we've made historic trade deals with partners covering 40% of all U.S. trade. Some of the greatest companies and countries in the world. We have countries as our partner, too. The European nations, Japan, South Korea. They're our partners. They've gone into massive deals.
I just read this earlier. I wanted to see. Trump claims factory construction is up, contradicting U.S. data. Because it looks like it's way down since, basically since the end of the CHIPS Act. Really accelerating after Liberation Day. Turn that frown upside down. But you said it was up 41%. So I don't know that. It just sounds like that's a made up fucking number from nowhere. Chart upside down. Oh, it's a smile. Wall Street Journal as a source. Nice try, liberal media. I mean, listen, I agree with you. These fucking libs, you can't trust them. But I think the actual source of that was the government's Fred economic data.
With us, especially on oil and gas. And these agreements raise growth and cause stock markets to boom, not only in the U.S., but virtually every country that came to make a deal, because as you've learned, when the United States goes up, you follow. It's really become a staple. In America, I've stopped the nation-wrecking energy policies that drive up prices while sending jobs and factories to the world's worst polluters. They are indeed polluters under Sleepy Joe Biden. New domestic oil and gas leases fell by 95%. Think of that. Then they wonder, why was gasoline going up so fast? The gasoline actually topped $5 a gallon, and some places $7 a gallon, and more than 100 major power plants were violent.
Okay, I can't watch the rest of this. Listen, I've seen the takeaways. This is an hour of this. He does an hour of the Sleepy Joe. He does an hour of rambling. He calls Greenland Iceland 3 different times. It is exactly what you're seeing here. There's nothing. There's no major new plan. There's no major attempt to get other countries on board with a new idea. Let's pick a random spot, though. Let's see if he crushes it right here.
Yet, the profit margin for credit card companies now exceeds 50%, one of the biggest. And they charge Americans interest rates of 28%, 30%, 31%, 32%. Whatever happened to usury? So to help our citizens recover from the Biden disaster, all caused by this horrible precedent, I'm asking Congress to cap credit card interest rates at 10% for 1 year. And this will help millions of Americans save for a home. They have no idea they're paying 28%. They go out there a little late in their payment and they end up losing their house. It's terrible. To unleash innovation and savings and financing, I'm also working to ensure America remains.
I think this is like a, it's hard to explain this because it's like an economic reason. People don't fucking care and they just want to hear credit card companies get capped. There's some merit to the idea of putting more rules on credit card interest rates. But just to be clear, he said this was happen by January 20th, I believe, when he first tweeted this. Nothing's happened. It's just another thing where he just talks about it. Now, I think the more realistic example here within our current framework is all this does is just push people to fucking loan sharks. It doesn't, it doesn't change the consumer's relationship with credit. But this could be a lot simpler.
The crypto capital of the world. And to that end, last year, I signed the Landmark Genius Act into law. Now Congress is working very hard on crypto market structure legislation, Bitcoin, all of them, which I hope to sign very soon, unlocking new pathways for Americans to reach financial freedom. And I did it for 2 reasons. Number one, I thought it was politically good, and it was. I got tremendous political support. But more importantly, China wanted that market too. It's just like they want the AI. And we've got that market, I think, pretty well locked up. If I didn't do it, Biden was totally against it until before the election when they realized that, there were millions of people voting against him over crypto. And all of a sudden they loved it very much, but it was too late. They blew it. But it is politically popular, but it's much more importantly, we have to make it so that China doesn't get the hold of it. And once they have that hold, we're not going to be able to get it back.
They can have it. What the fuck we want crypto for? We have the world scamming capital of the world. We have our president launching a fucking Trump coin. Why the fuck do we want crypto? You just said it was good for you politically because people donated money because they thought they could make money scamming and not get investigated. Who the fuck cares? What is the benefit? You said it's going to bring financial freedom to people?
So I'm honored to have done it. Finally, I've instructed government-backed institutions to purchase up to $200 billion in mortgage bonds to bring down interest rates. And I'll be announcing a new Fed chairman in the not-too-distant future. I think he'll do a very good job. So I gave away some of it.
Okay, I mean, that's just yield curve control. That's just fucking quantitative easy. We're just going to print 200 billion. That's just what we did in the fucking 09 to try and keep the economy propped up. This is why I can't make any calls on what the stock market does, bro. I am just so solid, ever more every day as the data continues to prove it, that the regular economy for regular people is bad and trending worse. It's just horrible. But the stock market is so divorced because the president can fucking have 200 billion out of thin air printed to prop up interest rate. Like the capability of the bailout tools is astronomical. They just invent new things.
Give that away. So we have something, got something, but somebody that's very respected. They're all respected. They're all great. Everyone that I interviewed is great. Everyone could do, I think, a fantastic job. Problem is they change once they get the job. They do. You know, they're saying everything I want to hear, and then they get the job. They're locked in for 6 years. They get the job, and all of a sudden, let's raise rates a little bit. I call them, sir, we'd rather not talk about this. It's amazing how people change once they have the job. But stupid.
What the fuck are you talking about? Bro, at least pretend to go along with what we're saying. The central bank's supposed to be independent. At least fucking pretend. You're openly saying that, yeah, you pick central bankers that they hope will do exactly what you say. And then when they get there, they don't answer your call and do it. They're supposed to raise interest rates if they think inflation's a problem. They're supposed to do that. If the world loses trust that they will do that, they will not keep their money in U.S. treasuries. The only reason to do that is the belief that the U.S. will do the hard thing of raising interest rates if they have to. That's the entire point of the job. The job is to project the independence and the credibility that you will do that if time comes. Oh my God, this guy's so dumb, bro. He's just dumb. I don't know what to say. It's not about ideals. It's just dumb. He's a stupid man. He's just not smart. A smart person with his same ideas would still be bad. But my God, at least it would, it wouldn't be stepping on a rake every 2 seconds.
Bad. Sort of disloyalty, but they got to do what they think is right. We have a terrible chairman right now. Jerome, too late Powell. He's always too late.
It's like giving a wedding speech and rambling about your ex. Dude, it's not that. Why are you sitting here complaining about your relationship with the guy you appointed for central bank?
And he's very late with interest rates, except before the election, he was just fine for the other side. So we're going to have somebody that's great, and we hope he does the right job. Last week, the average 30-year mortgage rate dropped below 6% for the first time in many years. Another major factor in driving up housing costs was the mass invasion of our borders. And I have to say one thing about housing, because nobody ever says this. I am very protective of people that already own a house, of which we have millions and millions and millions. And because we have had such a good run, the house values have gone up tremendously. And these people have become wealthy. They weren't wealthy. They become wealthy because of their house.
We know. We know.
Every time you make it more and more and more affordable for somebody to buy a house cheaply, you're actually hurting the value of those houses, obviously.
I can't believe he's just saying it. But I can't believe he's just saying it. I'm actually baffled. I'm actually baffled he just said that. Bro, that's the shit I've been saying for fucking 4 years. And he's just saying it, but like proudly. That's actually crazy. It's like, yeah, low key, we can't lower housing prices because then boomers will lose. Boomers bought their houses, I don't think you understand. Boomers bought their houses in the 70s, and now they're worth millions. And if we bring prices down, the boomers will lose money. Yeah, bro. That's what I've been saying. Why are you saying it like it's a good thing? That's so funny, bro. I got to keep this clip. I didn't know Donnie T was a Big A viewer. Why are they not confessing? They're not confessing, they're bragging. That's so funny.
because the one thing works in tandem with the other. And I don't want to do anything that's going to hurt the value of people that own a house who, for the first time in their lives, are walking around the streets of whatever city they're in, very proud that their house is worth $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. Now, if I want to really crush the housing market, I could do that so fast, and people could buy houses, but you would destroy a lot of people that already have houses. In some cases, they've mortgaged their house, and the mortgage would be very low. And all of a sudden, the mortgage without any changes becomes very high, and they end up.
He's actually just saying, like, I think we gotta liquefy people to feed the boomers. Bro, that's so funny. It's never been this naked. Like, literally, ever. Like, I've always said, like, affordability is important, and that's just so funny. Yeah, we can't have the boomers be hurt in any way.
Losing the house. I'm not going to hurt, and I speak with Scott, who's doing a fantastic job, and Howard, who's doing a fantastic job, and all of my people. And I always say, look, you know, I can crush the hell out of the market. We can drop interest rates to a level, and that's one thing we do want to do. That's natural. That's good for everybody. You know, the dropping of the interest rates, we should be paying a much lower interest rate than we are. We should be paying the lowest interest rate of any country in the world, because without the United States.
Just to be clear, I mean, dropping interest rates, which is what he actually wants to do, does nothing to help the housing market. It just fucking makes it easier to borrow money, so the housing price gets more inflated. That's dropping interest rates to make it so you can have a smaller monthly payment on a bigger, larger sum for the house cost, so you can afford to get $1 million loan or whatever to buy the house. That's not that. That's what he wants to do. That's what he's saying he wants to do. That won't solve the problem at all. That just kicks the can again. Puts people on even bigger, more desperate loans.
You don't have a country. I mean,
the only real way to get people back into housing and that make housing more affordable is that somebody, and I'm saying somebody, I'm looking at the boomers, are going to have to take some pain. And there are some boomers in there for whom this is a raw deal. And I know my chat won't ever care. I care. I feel bad for them. There are some boomers who have put their 30 years of payments into their house. It's their retirement. They were counting on it being worth a certain amount. But I'm sorry. Like, society is fracturing. Housing has gotten out of control. The young people are incredibly nihilistic. They have absolutely no way on the property ladder. There is no fucking way this is sustainable. And so someone has to take the pain. And the person most equipped to take the pain is the people who have had massive, massive capital gains on their fucking real estate and stocks for 40 years of positive tailwinds. Like, it's the boomers. They're the ones that have to take the pain. There will be some on the margins that are hurt, and I hope we can find ways to help them out. But that's not an excuse to not do it. We have to bring housing to back in line with incomes. Housing prices should go up and down with regards to incomes, but housing has been the growth in housing prices have been outpacing incomes for like 30, 40 years. And now it's absurd. Now there's no reasonable way on a normal income you can afford any house where you live.
Case with Switzerland. We happen to be in Switzerland. Maybe I'll give you a quick story. But they were paying nothing. They make beautiful watches, great watches, Rolex, all of them. They were paying nothing to the United States when they sent their product in.
Atrioc, could you sum this all up in one quick, snappy sentence for me? Yeah, I think I'd say, MAGA. don't clip that. Don't clip that. No, I can't sum this up in one snappy sentence. My snappy sentence is that this was actually, that line particularly was really eye-opening for me. That's crazy that he said that so nakedly. That is a true quiet part out loud moment. He just doesn't care. He just got up on stage and said, yeah, bro, we could fix the housing market, but then boomers might lose a little bit. Oh, man, that's so funny. Anyway, let's watch the end of this speech, but I think we got the gist, bro.
We knocked them down, and now we're going to start on land. We're going to knock it all out. The land is the easy part. What we did on sea is incredible, and that's our great military. The situation in Minnesota reminds us that the West cannot mass import foreign cultures which have failed to ever build a successful society of their own. I mean, we're taking people from Somalia, and Somalia is a failed,
Christ,
it's not a
bro.
nation. Got no government, got no police, got no military, got no nothing. And then we have this fake congressperson who they just reported is worth $30 million.
Bro, you are an hour and 12 minutes into your speech to leaders around the world, and you are talking about Somalians in Minnesota. What is the point of this rambling ass speech, bro?
Changing period. It's an unbelievable time, but we have to take advantage of the time that we're in. In our hands are technologies that our ancestors could scarcely have. I mean, they couldn't have even dreamt some of the things that we see today.
Scarily?
And so rapidly they're produced. I mean, AI, 2 years ago, nobody ever heard of the term, and now everybody's talking about it. And it can have some very good purpose. It could also have some dangerous purpose, and for that we have to watch out. But some tremendous things are happening because of it. And we're leading by so much. We're doing so well.
Dude.
But opportunities that are bigger and grander than ever before in human history are right before us. It is the pioneers in this room. Many of you in this room are true pioneers. You're truly brilliant people. Just your ability to get a ticket is brilliant because you have about 50 people for every seat. I don't know what, that's Larry. Everything Larry touches turns to gold. He made this very successful. But you're in this room, and some of you are the greatest leaders anywhere in the world. You're the greatest brains anywhere in the world. And the future is unlimited, and to a large part because of you, and we have to protect you, and we have to cherish you. I always say we have to cherish our brilliant people because there aren't many of them. So together with confidence, boldness, and persistence, let us lift up our people, grow our...
Okay, if you're like, fuck these globalist elites in Davos kind of guy, Trump's gonna stick it to the man. He's at Davos calling them the most brilliant baby doll people in the world. It's up there on the stage saying, I love you and I cherish you and I mwah, mwah, mwah.
Economies, defend our shared destiny and build a future for our citizens that is more ambitious, more exciting, more inspiring, and greater than the world has ever seen. We're in a position to do things that nobody else has ever even thought of before. And many of the people in this room are the ones that are doing it. And I want to congratulate you, and I'm with you all the way. You can do things that nobody else can even think about. So I congratulate you on your tremendous success. And the United States is back, bigger, stronger, better than ever before. And I'll see you around. Thank you all very much. Thank you very much.
Get fucked, Carney. I'm sorry, but that is called getting speech mogged. I'll see you around. I can't even remember Carney's speech anymore after that tour de force. America is back, folks. They're back in a major way. You know, I used to think that I wasn't a big fan of Trump, and I didn't really like what he was saying. But after I got a message from Squeaks begging me to listen to him again and give him another chance, I'm really starting to see what he sees in him. And I know that Squeaks voted for him 3 times, but I think he said he'd vote for him a 4th. Did you see the part where he threatens Canada? I mean, I saw the clips. I don't want to find this all in this. It's an hour-long speech. It's rambly, bro. He did have like a mob boss kind of thing. I guess we could try to find the Greenland part because it's being reported as, you know, that he backed off on Greenland, which he did do, but the way he phrased it was like, it's like we could do this the easy way or the hard way. Kind of, you know, it's kind of like, He did rip up in Iceland, though. He did mention Iceland 3 times. Supposedly it says he's not terrible at Greenland. Yeah, I mean, look, it's looking like what's going to happen. We'll cap this up by saying what happened with Greenland. So it's looking like, as of today, Mark Rutte, how do you say his name? Negotiated something with Trump. He's backing down on the military force. He's backing down on the tariffs. He's abandoned the tariffs. He is, there's going to be like a deal where America can rebuild some of its military bases and begin early stage mining. Just as a reminder, that was something you could always do with your ally Denmark in Greenland. But instead of just doing that from minute one, we have unraveled our previous pretty good trade deal with Europe. That's now gone. We pissed off all these countries. We forced Canada into a number of alliances they're running onto and trade deals with China. France is talking about trade deals with China. We've a bunch of pension funds sold their U.S. bond holdings in Norway and Denmark. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the game, to get nowhere, to make no accomplishment. A bunch of Republican senators defected. I wouldn't say defected, but they basically said if this Greenland thing continues, you're going to get impeached. And then all of Trump's allies, right-leaning allies from Europe, like the AFD and RN, lost ground. So, I mean, I don't know. He gained nothing. I guess the main gain is that he diverted the news cycle for another 2 weeks from the Epstein files. Legitimately. That's the only gain I can see on Trump's side, is that the news cycle diverted, because there's no, and I guess I gained because all of the economic chaos caused gold to spike again, more in a day than it's been doing in years prior. And I'm up 105% with like fucking 7 figures, bro. It's insane. So that's the win. I thank you, Trump. But as far as the good of my country, I think it's terrible. You talk about Japan's bond rate. I'm going to, but probably not today. This is the Canada soundbite. Let's see.
We're building a golden dome that's going to, just by its very nature, going to be defending Canada. Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're not. I watched your prime minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements. We're building a golden dome.
Bro. He's like licking his lips, fucking sinister. It's insane. Insane, dude. Canada lives because of the United States. It's like a Disney villain, bro. It's absurd. It's fucking absurd, man. I don't know. Any hoots. I'm glad we watched those 2 really powerful speeches. That really, boy, puts it in perspective, huh? And there's living 16 months. Mono, thank you for 3 months. Truly eloquent stuff. He talks about my grandpa right before he died. Did you see Takaichi play drums with the PM of Korea? I did not. Takaichi's out there playing drums. Oh, that's kind of cool. Where's how do you full screen this? like neither of them are playing, bro. Maybe I'm wrong. It feels like neither of them are playing, and it's just, but that's fun. I mean, hey, always good when any one of Japan, Korea, or China are being nice to each other. It's always nice when there's like a de-escalation of tensions and they're fucking vibing instead of nationalistic hand-wringing. Dude, this fucking guy, Cozy Dream, I'm timing you out for a day. You have asked 400 times during that entire speech what headphones I have. Bro, they're fucking Amazon Basics. It's the most default fucking headphone you can find. The first result for in-ear headphones. It costs like fucking $7. Please stop spamming it. Dear fucking God. Oh my God, I banned a different guy named Cozy Dream. This guy has 0 chat message. I banned a different guy. I banned somebody else. How many Cozy Dreams are there? I'm leaving him banned just for you got that guy banned with your questions. You got somebody else banned with your questions. I want you to know that. You collective punishment is what we're doing around here. We're doing collective punishment. That's against the GMA Convention. Didn't you hear about Carney? Carney said the era of rules-based order is dead. Did you not listen to Mark Carney? The era of rules-based international order is dead. Us mid-sized streamers are going to sit together and make our own fucking thing against chat. The fucking G6, G7. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Very fucking nice, dude. Brings it back. Yo, Atrioc, I got accepted to study abroad in Japan for a year. Any tips from your trip to Korea? On your 21st birthday, do 21 shots of Jack Daniels and black out. That's my first tip for how to handle study abroad. If you're studying abroad in Japan, I would say if you have a boxing gym near you, I'd practice punching and kicking because those deer are tougher than you think. And you're going to need to keep up our American tradition of doing as much damage to the deer as you can. So don't go over there weak, be ready to fucking throw a real punch, a real kick. Though, like, the thing is, you don't know this, but Japanese people, they'll laugh at you if you do like a weak hit on the deer. It's got to be strong. And then they'll respect you. Are you going to give any real advice or am I just a bit machine for you? Okay, sorry. I'm not your fucking therapist. I'm not here to fucking solve all your life problems, okay? That's the chat streamer interaction. You make a thing, I do a joke, chat goes +2s. Okay? Do you understand? That's how it fucking goes. Might have any real advice for you? Have a good time. Enjoy some good food. Don't be stuck in your dorm room watching anime. Go out and experience things. Meet people. What do you mean to say? Of course. It doesn't. Mm. I mean, it's a good time, dude. I saw a funny thing. This is probably not necessarily you, but it made me laugh anyway. It was 25-year-olds with 2 degrees when the Japan trip return flight lands and they're finally out of excuses to postpone getting a job. Because everybody's doing Japan trips, bro. Everybody. That's the new thing. It's the new, like, I'm going to do a year backpacking in Europe or whatever. Everyone's just like, yeah, I'm going to do a Japan trip. I'm going to, because the price is so cheap and I guess anime interest is up or what. I don't know. People are just, everyone does Japan now. Subbing from Norway before we get hit with retaliatory Twitch tariffs. Thank you, M. Hausch. Godspeed. Thank you very much. The tariffs are coming, bro. I'm glad you got in the buy early. Dude, that letter, the Trump letter to Norway, where he said, he said, since you didn't give me the Nobel Prize, I'm going to stop thinking so much about peace. That's fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. Oh, that was fake? Me too. It's real. Isn't that crazy? The Trump letter to Norway was real. Considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace. So you were only thinking about peace for the fucking Nobel Prize? Which you got from Machado anyway. He sent it to Denmark? I sent it to Norway. But Norway, the country, doesn't handle the Nobel. It's a Nobel committee. It's not like the fucking leader of Norway picks the Nobel Prize. Anyway, guys, I want to watch one interesting learning video. I have an Iran presentation that I am trying to get out this week. Ideally tomorrow or Thursday. Soon. Been working on it pretty diligently, and I feel pretty good about it. I'm worried that something major is about to happen. But outside of that, I've been sort of enjoying the break still. So, oh, and the Age of Empires video, which I think is going to be a banger. I think it's actually going to be a banger video. Legitimately, I'm so excited for that to come out. I think the AoE video is a true banger. But now Ludwig's reviewing the stock competition. Wait, let's see what he's saying. I also need to review this, actually. Oh, wait, I might need to fucking call his ass because he's not doing the loss.
Actually had a pretty swingy portfolio. He had 3 stocks that had a negative return, 2 with a negative return in the double digits, both Ferrari and Fluor Cup. Fluor Corp, excuse me.
Fluor Cup?
Had pretty massive negative returns. Ferrari kind of fell off a cliff lately. And then 7-Eleven, which has basically been doing horrible the entire time, but better as of recent. However, he was saved because he had a couple stocks, Ocugen and Palantir, which had over a 100% return.
What's up, dude?
Hey.
So Doug.
Why'd you say hey like that? You can just say hello normal.
Hey, man. No, I'm just excited to call you. I want to say
fucking
congratulations. Congratulations.
You're breathing. Hey, I can hear you breathing through the phone right
I'm
now.
just
You all right?
so
Were you
excited.
running?
I'm very... I'm just walking. I'm fat, as you pointed out many times.
Okay, yeah. Just
Oh, by the way, 179 today.
179. What's that?
Weight, my weight.
How much?
179.
I thought those pounds of food you've eaten today. Pig to a trough.
So unnecessary. So unnecessary. Hey, man, I just want to say congratulations
Yeah,
on beating the S&P 500. That's a big deal.
doubled it actually.
You doubled it. That's an incredible investment. And I just think it's awesome that you took part in this contest and did so well against the S&P 500. And because you took part in it, you obviously agreed to all of the rules and stipulations and prizes and punishments, right? That's what participating in a contest means.
That's right. Yeah.
So I don't know who won or lost. I don't care about those things, but whoever got 5th would have to go to New York and run a 5K in a business suit. That was the whole thing that we agreed to on film.
That's not true.
Okay. Well, speak to that.
It was go to New York
Mm-hmm.
in a business suit with a briefcase.
You know what? That's that Warren Buffett mind of yours added a word. You get the details right, and that's what I.
Let's get the details right.
I know. What am I? What a fool I am up here, and I don't even know how much I made. Probably nothing. I probably lost the damn thing. But anyway,
You didn't get first, that's for sure.
that's for damn sure.
Not very close either.
You know what I should have done? I don't remember who did well or not, but I really wanted to invest in Trump coin, but I think you snagged it out from underneath me, and I think that would have probably put me over the top, right? How did that do? Can you?
Well, Atrioc, you're forgetting the final rule.
What's the final rule?
Any competitor
Uh-huh.
is allowed to remove their worst performing stock for a more consistent average. And if you were to remove my worst performing stock, Trump coin,
Yeah.
which by itself shouldn't be a part of the competition because it's a crypto coin anyway, and
fine.
it's dougdoug.com/stocks.
Where would that put you?
It would put me in 4th place above Doug. Unless you also removed his lowest, in which case I'd still be last.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You bought into fucking United Healthcare after the Mangione shot.
Lightning never strikes the same place twice.
I remember that being your strategy. I remember. As if the only way a stock can go down is if the CEO gets killed twice. I think that's an old Wall Street adage. Bro, you have to go to New York and do this. There's no honor among... Listen, Wall Street's the most honorable place on earth. Stock trading is the most honorable task there is. If we don't uphold that honor and fulfill our obligations, what are we?
Double or nothing.
You already have nothing.
Double or nothing,
what
man.
I want to double. You're going to run a 10K?
Yes, I'll run a 10K. It's a 10K in a birthday suit.
Bro, you're not going to run a 10K naked in New York. Okay?
I'm not going to run a 5K either, so you might as well take the bet.
There's no paying out. You're just going to double down until you win. This is like classic melee bets.
This is the Ludwig strategy. It's timeless.
Yes, I love it.
I'm going to do it, just to be clear.
Okay. Speak to that, because I thought you weren't going to do it. And I'm really happy. I'm glad you're going to fulfill your bet.
I'm going to do it. I have to go to New York.
Okay.
I have to run a 5K in a business suit with a briefcase.
Great. When are you going to do it?
Net 700 days.
Net 700 days.
700 days.
I don't think we should wait that long. I feel like you have a really awesome community that you've cultivated over the years. And I think they're really fucking excited, man, to see you get out there and run that 5K. That's what they want to see. They're begging for it. Honestly, I've heard they've been saying a little too much Minecraft, Ludwig.
No, they haven't been saying that.
Stop doing Minecraft.
If anything, they've
all
been
the time.
saying, if
Stop
anything,
doing
they're
every
saying
hour
more Minecraft.
Mhm.
And they're also saying, let's run the contest another year because Trump Coin's supposed to bounce back.
I see. I
Bounce
would
back
definitely
better.
run a different contest, but the thing is, the second contest doesn't have any weight to it if you don't do the punishment for the first.
Dude, and again, you're being loud and crazy about it and breathing heavy.
Yeah.
But to be clear, like, I'm going to do it.
Okay. Perfect.
Did we put a date in when
we did?
Because like, is it reasonable? Like, I lost today. Should I fly today? Is that the idea?
Obviously you have a little bit of wiggle room, but
There's a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, so there's some wiggle room.
It's just like you're wiggling a lot because you used to say that you weren't going to do it at all.
I've never, first off, I've never lost until today.
Yesterday.
So, do you know what I mean? Like, like
No, I
today's the
feel
first
you.
day I found out. Like, I thought I was going to win up until now.
Can I give you credit on something?
Yeah, please.
You picked stocks from basically things you saw around the room, including your poster of the dead UNH CEO on your wall. But,
Rest in peace. Yeah.
RIP. I think Brian was his name. And
forgot about it. But
and I'm surprised that it did as well as it did because you picked, I think, the single best performing stock in the S&P, Micron, this year. I think that is the actual best performing #1 of all the S&P stocks.
In the S&P stocks, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually really you sort of
Yep,
you knew
pretty
that going in. You saw
easy.
that
Pretty
computer
writing was on the
memory was
wall
going to
for
be
Micron.
the
Yeah, writing was on the wall for that one. That was kind of a gimme.
That was a gimme because like that was not a popular trade. People didn't notice that
No.
going in, and you. How was it so obvious to you?
Unluckily, I was a little early to a couple of these other ones. Like, you know, obviously United Health Group. Like, they're gonna have a
they're gonna have a
great
massive 26. Yep.
Occidental Petroleum. Like, you know, the moment we got Venezuela, that kind of put a fucking wrench in my plans. You know,
that's bad.
With
Looks
the
like it was red
petroleum
before that,
industry.
but yeah, for sure.
It got red right around then. If you were to line up the
if you were to line it up.
timelines.
And you're big on GTA 6 this year, huh? Because that didn't happen last year with your take.
Yeah, they're doing great.
Yeah,
they're doing great. Here's the deal, and this is for real investors only. No shade.
Okay.
It only goes up like until GTA is released.
True.
The idea of GTA is
Bro,
more
he's
valuable than
actually
GTA
spitting
being out.
So facts right now.
So I want GTA to be delayed.
That's why he's beating S&P. Okay, but you know what actually is funny is that I looked this up for a Lemonade Stand. What big Wall Street hedge funds did in performance last year, and you beat like a lot of major hedge funds. Like there's like the Renaissance Alpha Group, which has billions of dollars in some of the world's best investors. They did like 20%, and they were crowing about it. They were fucking losing their mind. It's a sign that like we are clearly in an insane bubble. If all 5 of us beat every major hedge fund.
Pause. Disagree.
Like, that's cartoonish. That's cartoonish.
I'm smarter than the hedge fund
Right.
people. Hedge funders. I don't know what you call them.
Right. You don't need to know when you're making money like
Pedophiles,
you're
whatever
making.
you call them.
Pedophiles for sure.
I am
For sure.
smarter than them. A. B. And I don't know if you've considered this. Because most people, what they do, right? Compound interest. You take your money, you reinvest it, you get more money over time.
Yeah. Okay.
I take out my profits, and it's called prediction market bets.
I see.
Okay.
Do you know? Okay.
Buddy, this 2,500 or whatever I've made,
Yeah.
it's like 30K at this point.
Because you put it into many obscene. You showed me that you made obscene Dodgers bets on Robinhood.
Fernando Mendoza says the F bomb during his winning interview. That was a 40x return.
So fun.
I just put 30 on it.
Yeah.
So,
Did you know that Robinhood was the second best S&P 500 stock? If you'd have put money into Robinhood, which you actually use on your
I did put a lot into Robinhood. The issue is it never came out. I've been putting a lot of money into Robinhood.
The stock itself.
I've been investing. Oh, the stock. No, not
not the stock.
I've been investing like so much.
Yeah, no, you showed me. You made like an insane Dodgers bet.
And it paid.
That one did pay.
Oops.
All right,
Oops,
bro.
all
Well,
green.
look, I'm really excited for you to root that run. I think everyone in your chat's excited, and I think it's like awesome that you did this contest and stuck to the rules. So
Got you. I swear to you, net 700. I got you. I got
and
you.
let's do net 70. Let's do net. Let's do it before World War III.
You want me to go to New York
go
within
before World War
70
III.
days? Within 70. Can you be realistic?
Can we be realistic? 70 days. That sounds really realistic.
70 is not real. I'm in China in 70 days.
Make a little stop. See
Zhongzhou.
Squeaks.
Oh, make a stop to China. Now you don't even know.
Bro, why do you make Squeaks always come to you? You never go to Squeaks. That's another thing I want to say. Why is he always going to fly out to do Dark Souls with your ass? You never fly out there and
what?
Play fucking Roblox with him or some shit.
Just to be clear, when I go to New York, I don't hit him up. I don't let him know I'm in the neighborhood. I go through quiet.
Yeah, me too, bro. He's just so annoying in person.
Yeah.
You know, I feel you. It's
he
just like,
yelled at me last time, actually.
He's a yapper.
The yapper. It is what it is.
It is what it is. All right, bro. Well, I'm looking forward to doing that run, and we'll do another one of these contests in the future. And
why do I even have to do the run if you think about it? Should we just maybe fucking forgive me and move on?
Nah, I think you should do it.
I made money for charity about more than a hedge fund. Like, okay, how about I do the run, but I don't give the money to charity?
How about you do the run, you give the money to charity, and you be a good guy. You solve all the problems at once. You fucking.
What the fuck's the point of that?
It's the deal you agreed to. We got an ending.
I never said I would both do the bet and give the money to charity.
How about this? Okay, here's a better idea. Okay,
let me keep the money.
I actually figured it out. We'll solve it.
It'll cover the flight.
You do the run. You don't give the money to charity. We take out what you were gonna make out of Aiden's paycheck at Mogul Moves. And lemonade stand.
Deal. 100% deal.
And he's in the chat too. Perfect. Now you know.
Plus, I got to lock Delta Diamond for next year, so I got to start getting miles anyway. Oh, you didn't hear I'm Delta Diamond?
Oh, I didn't.
Sorry, I guess it hasn't gotten around to you yet.
Did you? You didn't even congratulate me on being 179 pounds. I think you called me fat
Diamond.
so much. You realize that I'm thinner than you now?
It doesn't count when you're lifting yourself up on the scale, just so you know. You have to put your full weight on it.
That means I'm lifting 179 though. That's kind of big.
Yeah, that's true.
That's kind of big, bro.
Respect.
Bro,
yeah, Delta Diamond, by the way. So
it's not.
You're not complimenting me.
That's not that. And what does that cost? You just spent money on it.
Huh?
You just spent money.
Hundreds of thousands.
No, but do you think that like they picked Delta Diamond based on your character?
Probably part of it. Yeah, it's probably like a resume thing. They look through. Probably some profiling. Not that I'm proud of that, but you know, let's just be real.
First of all, you sound very proud of it. You sound like inordinately proud that you're Delta Diamond, which is the thing you pay for. You're just saying you're just flexing.
You don't pay for it. You get it. It's like an honor. It's like a cum laude.
Yeah, and I come loudly, but that's not relevant.
Yuck. Ew. Ew. By the way, like crass. Like I've been so polite this whole conversation. Crass. It's Latin, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you cum laude at ASU?
Yes, I was, and you weren't because you're an idiot.
That's just mean. That's a line crosser.
Okay, sorry. Let me ask. Were you cum laude?
No. I played League of Legends. My grades weren't that good.
I'm better than you at League right now, and I have 2 degrees. Cum
That's
laude.
not true. Be real. Be for real.
Right now, pound for pound, I'm better than you 100%.
Pound for pound?
My impact on
you
a game
are
of
1
League of
pound
Legends.
heavier than me. No, don't talk about impact, bro.
Why not?
1v1.
When we talk about Atrioc, we talk about impact.
I'm talking about #1 Fizz NA.
Dude, old man bringing up the fucking 1940s, bro. You were going up against janitors, man. Like, it's a different game now.
Well, I don't think you would even got plat without me. I had to carry your ass like 20 games.
I got plat twice, 2 seasons.
I just don't.
1v1, loser goes to New York.
That's absolutely not what I'm going to do. You lost the contest. No.
Fear.
No fucking way. I'm not giving you an
killer.
out. I'm not giving you an out. No, you have to go to New York and run the 5K.
He is
bro.
all
It's
bark,
a
no bite.
1-year
You're right.
contest.
All
No.
bark, no bite. Little Chihuahua. Little Maltese mix.
You're saying I'm little. You're saying I'm not fat.
Little Maltese.
You're saying I'm not.
The way you bark is little. The way you bark is little.
you're
Then you
saying
round
I'm
the
looking
corner
slim
and
is
you
what
go,
you're
is
saying.
that
I'm
one
looking
dog or
trim.
3? How
You
many
can
dogs
say
is
I'm
that?
looking trim, bro. Look at me on this. I'm trim.
You got the body of Cerberus.
I'm trim, bro. So I've been working out at a Mogul, and every fucking day that Ludwig's there, he either makes a fucking sad trombone sound when I'm walking around to call me fat, or this is what's happening when you're not there. Slime will come up to me while I'm lifting and go, oh, is it Weenie Hut Jr. Day? What the fuck is wrong with your outfit? I'm just trying to improve my life. I'm trying to improve myself. And you guys are...
It's in his defense. It looks a little funny when you use the pink bicycle weights. It just looks a little funny. It's fine, and like everybody starts where they start. They just look a little silly.
There are no pink. I'm not using pink bicycle weights.
They're not. Sorry, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Chat, they're not pink.
Yeah,
they're
there's normal weights, and it's just like
weight
weird
color, not bright
that
pink.
I'm being constantly
2 pounds.
harassed. Like it feels like crabs in a bucket. You know what I'm saying?
Salmon. Does that feel better to hear? They're a salmon.
There's no color to them. There's normal.
Sorry. Yep. Yeah. We don't see color. I think we did well today.
All right. This is a good talk. This is productive. I can't wait to see you in New York, bro.
I'll be in New York. It's a video, right?
Yep.
Here's the deal. Net 700. I wait 699 days. Uh-oh. AI made a video and it looks perfect.
Ludwig Sora generates a video of him running.
I'm feeding Sora all of my data for the next 699 days.
Christ almighty.
Coming out the other end with the most beautiful looking video. It looks so real.
Just run it. Just why don't you want to run it? It'll be fun.
Because I'd have to go to New York.
You could make content there. You're a content creator.
Here's the deal. You guys wouldn't even know what New York looks like.
That is your avenue you're going with to get out of this? Is that I wouldn't recognize New York?
I don't think we ever said New York City.
Okay. You can go to a different city named New York. You could go to New York State.
Ooh.
That's fine. If you can find New York, Texas, you can run it.
New York in California. Fuck.
You can go to New York in Las Vegas. I will count that, but you have to run a 5K.
There's a New York in Nebraska. They said Wall Street. Fuck, we did, didn't we?
New York, Las Vegas.
There's a Wall Street in California.
Go to Wall Street in California and run it, and I will count it. But you have to do it so that we have an ending to this piece of content, so that it's an actual video.
And that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I told Aiden. Aiden and I were talking on the way to the podcast.
Lifted.
And I was
the
like,
veil has been lifted and the bride is ugly. She's hideous.
I don't want to hear Aiden talk unless
with
it's monetized.
wolf-like teeth. Okay. The body of a liar.
What does a liar's body look like?
The instrument.
That is misshapen.
Okay,
right,
that's all he cares about. You just want me to do it so you can put in the fucking video.
I want you to follow your word. I want my friend to follow his word.
You just want me to run as a fat chud, and so you can put a fat chud in your video.
And also, you could lose some pounds because now you're 181, I think, and I'm 179.
This
and
fat chud does it the old-fashioned way.
That was the title I was going for. Yeah, is that?
Yeah.
Can you ask Jimmy if that's a good one?
No, I can't ask Jimmy if this fat chud does it the old-fashioned way.
Do you mind asking? You have connections I don't have. Could you ask Luca or Jimmy if that's a good idea?
Brother, first off.
Hey, when are you going to get me in with Luca? Be real.
I'm never doing that.
Okay, brother, come on. It's like I watch every Lakers game this season. I'm actually a really big fan
on
now.
my deathbed.
Do you think maybe just keeping it a stack, you could get me we can hang out, you, me, and Luca. We go to a
genuinely
game.
On my deathbed. When Luca's there,
yeah. You think Luca?
I say,
okay, he's gonna beat your deathbed.
Never talk to Big A.
That's your last
for me.
You at this point, I assume you have children and nothing. You're a full life, and you're still.
This is like 6 months from now.
Okay, after you run the 5K.
Yes, the 5K took it all out of me.
It's in New York, California. And Luca shows up, and you.
He'd be there for me.
All right, bro. Just get me in a room with Luca. All right. Well, not in a room because that's just me watching the game. I want to talk to him. We'll be boys.
What are you gonna say to him?
We have a lot in common.
Okay, yeah, let's go. I'll be Luca.
Okay.
I know him well.
Luca, bro.
Hey, what's up?
I love your weight loss journey. I'm on a similar one. We both got bullied for our weight.
Looks like your journey just started. Quite early in the process.
I'm out of here. You're just. I wish I was hanging out with Luca now. He would not be this mean. Okay. I'm
Okay,
out.
you don't know
I'm
Luca
out.
then. You don't.
I'm out.
Luca
That's not what
ribs.
No, Luca would be my
I get
dog.
it. You got second dinner. Go ahead.
Take it easy.
Hang
I gotta
up.
run. Do the run. What a piece of shit, dude. What a piece of shit. What a piece of shit, dude. Chat. He better do the run, is all I'm saying. You know, because what if we want to do another one of these contests and then no one's going to believe our stakes? I thought you were the white Luka. Anything. Yeah, I am the white Luka Doncic. You both instantly call each other a piece of shit when the call ended? That's fucking funny. MJ Legend, thank you for the 53 months, bro. Appreciate it. Goddamn. Ply Detector, thank you for the 31 months. Chum, thank you for the 3 months. Can we get a mutual fund that tracks Ludwig's investments? Why, of all the people you could pick, you'd pick Ludwig? Yes, he beat the S&P, but it was the worst performing of the 5. To short it, then you'd lose money because he still was up. He's diversified because he includes crypto. Yeah, he does have. Have you been watching Doug's Silk Song Steel Soul? I heard he beat it in 5. That's pretty impressive. Thank you for the 65, Fishman. Hey, Big A, how's the housing market doing? Bad. I think we just had the biggest drop. I don't know if it was transactions or. Yeah, pending home sales, that's what it was. Pending home sales dropped massively, which means the housing market has gone from frozen to, or sorry, from chilly to completely frozen. Nobody is buying a house. It's just completely here. You can see this one. Everybody is just waiting for something to change. Prices have to drop a lot more. I'm looking to buy and it's super irritating to look for houses. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just huge pending sales drop. Can you play this game, look outside? I don't think so. Who needs a house when you have chat as a home? You're a first-time chat message. You've never been in this chat before. Why are you talking like people don't need a house when they have chat as a home? This is the first thing you've ever spoken. Can you imagine if like I was like, I don't know, like I lost a friend and I'm crying and you're like, why do you need a friend when you have the right person there the whole time? And it's like a person I've never met or spoken to in my entire life. I've never seen you in my entire life. New daily game enclosed.horse. I don't want to play this. This looks silly. I don't want to play a horse game. I want to play that Stockle game. Let's play Stockle. Stockle.fun. We're getting it trending. This is like a guy in the community made a stock guessing game. Okay, let's see what we got. Stockle.fun. Okay. 5-year chart. 165, 170. Did really good in 25 and the start of this year. I don't know. This could be like a Goldman Sachs. Not financial services, not capital markets, lower market cap, lower price, higher PE. Okay. Oof. Lower market cap. Dude, when it gets too low, it's like it could be a million things. If it's, what had a big 25? I mean, do they have like Robinhood? Do they, we could do like Micron. That's bigger. This could be, I don't know, dude. This could be, maybe we should need like I just need to know the industry. Give me the industry. Give me a hint. Consumer defensive. It's like, it can't be Walmart. Let me see, what's consumer defensive? Not Pepsi. Not Philip Morris. Not Coca-Cola. Monster, maybe. Target, no. Kroger, no. Dr. Pepper, no. General Mills, no. Who the fuck is this? I guess could be maybe Monster. I don't think Philip Morris had an insane year. Let's try Monster. Okay. It's a bigger market cap than Monster. Is it Altria? It couldn't be anything else, right? Altria? It is tobacco? Is it Philip Morris that had that crazy year? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wait, let's look this up. Let's look this up. Philip Morris. Philip Morris had a really fantastic 2025. Why? Is it Zins? Yeah, but I thought Zin would have hit their, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, it really was. It was Zins. In my mind, like the Zin boom would have been like 22, 23 onward. This is like all this happened in 25. Wow, dude. 200 million Zin tins a quarter. They are moving so. Oh, you know this reminds me of? Wait, I got one more video to watch. Actually, interesting video. Wait, I wonder if you guys have seen this. Wait, I really wanted to watch this with chat. Damn, they're just pumping Zins into America. People are fucking down in that shit. Wait, have you heard of this thing called? Oh, what's it called? Like, there it is. It's called Feel Free. Is anybody, you can be honest, is anybody using this shit? There's a video called This Gas Station Drug Nearly Ruined My Life. It has like 2 million views in 2 months. I want to watch it. I heard about this separately and then someone recommended this video. Apparently this shit is just ripping into people. And I want to learn more about it.
This right here is a 2-ounce, 59 milliliter bottle of Feel Free I just purchased for a little over 11 years. US dollars from this gas station behind me in Nashville, Tennessee. The label on the bottle claims that it is a plant-based herbal supplement. It's meant to give you focus, energy, and a mood lift. That sounds quite nice. But
Okay.
that's not the full story, is it? What exactly is in this bottle?
Let me show you something.
Literally on it
This
right
here
now.
is a time lock safe. You put something inside, set a timer, and you can't get the item back out until the timer runs out.
Okay. For phones.
It's a tool people use to break addictions and control their cravings. Why the tape? Yeah, it didn't quite work out for me. Turns out I couldn't wait 24 hours to get what was inside out, and instead watched any tutorial I could to safely open the box without breaking it. I failed, in more ways than one.
Okay.
What could have made me so desperate that I'd break my own safe? That thing did cost me 50 quid. Exactly what's inside this drink.
And it's sold in the gas station.
I absolutely wish I knew sooner how Kratom was going to impact my
Kratom.
life.
Concerned about the safety of a popular supplement known as Kratom.
Famous Kratom.
The FDA recently published an advisory about the dangers of using Kratom.
That he sells in his shop over here.
I've never heard of this shit.
I could go buy this at a convenience store.
And I got feel free.
Try it out, man.
At smoke shops, convenience stores, and gas stations, Kratom is derived from a plant from Southeast Asia.
Though it's difficult to admit, I was addicted to this drug, Kratom, for...
What drug is it most similar to? Like, what is it? What's the... It's not nicotine. It's not... Is it like Zyn? Is it opiate? It's like opium?
over 5 years. And it wasn't that bad at first. In fact, I would have been the first to tell you, I was using it responsibly. I could never get addicted, no. In fact, there were many positives that I'd found in the beginning that I will talk about later in this video, but then...
The video is just a 20-minute ad for Kratom. Yeah, basically, it's awesome. I felt better, I had more energy. It's fucking great.
Oh, yeah. Then it took complete control of my life. From the constant anxiety of not having enough of it to the nausea and blurry spotted vision from having too much of it, Kratom slowly consumed me until I was only ever in one of two states, either on Kratom or wishing I was.
Okay.
My name is Evan Ettinger, and as of the recording of this video...
That's how I want people to feel about Big A clips, by the way. I want you to either be watching them or having withdrawals. There should be no... You shouldn't be having a normal life outside of it. That's the goal of the content, okay? You should be like...
I've officially reached my first full year of complete sobriety from this drug. It was actually yesterday, and no, it wasn't easy. Today I'm going to be telling you what exactly is in this bottle, how it works, how it can act as a lifeline and a trap, and finally, how I got out. The main ingredient inside this bottle is Kratom, sometimes pronounced Kratom. Kratom is a tropical tree native to Southeast Asia whose leaves have long been used for their mind-altering effects. For centuries, people living in Malaysia, Thailand, and Indonesia have chewed the leaves or brewed them into a tea for the stimulant and medicinal benefits. In smaller doses, Kratom was traditionally used by laborers and farmers for its mild stimulant effect, similar to how coffee is used in the West. In fact, that's one of the main angles that made it feel so acceptable to me. There's nothing wrong with coffee, right? It's kind of like an Eastern version of coffee. And if you think about it, coffee and Kratom actually share the same plant family. So what's so different?
What's the problem?
The more you use it, the more you'll cling to any excuse you can to keep using it. In higher doses, though, interestingly enough, Kratom isn't as much of a stimulant as a sedative, where if you take larger amounts of Kratom, instead of giving you a lot of energy, it actually makes you feel more lethargic, with pain-killing benefits similar to that of some prescription opioids like codeine and morphine, which there very much is a reason for.
The thing is, no one plans on getting addicted.
Took too much and never
even
wanted to take it
with your
again?
best intentions. It's a losing battle when your vice is actively messing with the processes in your brain and is chemically addictive. I bet it's the case that most of you wish you could spend just a little bit less time on your phones every day.
I used to use this shit when I was addicted to Fent and couldn't get any on the road. So it's like a it's like a Temu version of Fent.
And yet, here you are. You didn't expect to be this addicted to your phone, did you? And scrolling's only messing with your dopamine receptors. Imagine that with little extra opiate receptors thrown in. Let me not give Zuckerberg any more ideas. I was officially diagnosed with ADHD earlier this year.
This is an ad?
Video coming eventually. But I knew long before my brain wasn't functioning like everyone else's. When you feel broken, or when you feel like you just wish there was an easy way to fix yourself or dig yourself out of a hole, you go looking for solutions. Therapy didn't feel like the appropriate solution because I didn't feel like it was like a problem that therapy could solve, and it's expensive. Wait times with the NHS for ADHD are also catastrophically bad. Plus, that'd be doctors and pills, which at the time felt a lot worse than something more natural. I heard about this new tea powder from Asia that might solve some of my problems, and it's all natural. Why not give that a shot? I heard it's just as addictive as caffeine, and that doesn't sound so bad. I love coffee. What could possibly go wrong?
Can't relate to that, buddy. It's crack matcha?
Well, if you talk to anyone who takes Kratom regularly, they'll be the first to tell you, Kratom isn't an opiate. No, it just sort of plays with the brain's opiate receptors. Totally different thing. Chemically, Kratom, or Mitragina speciosa, contains a pair of very potent alkaloids, mitragynine and 7-hydroxymitragynine, or 7-O. These alkaloids bind to the mu-opioid receptors in the brain, the same receptors targeted by opioids like morphine and codeine. However, Kratom's chemistry is complex. Mitragynine and its metabolites also interact with other receptor systems in the brain, serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine, which helps give users that boost in their mood, at least at first. The other alkaloid found in Kratom, 7-OH, is a much bigger problem. 7-OH is reported to be significantly more potent than morphine for the mu-opioid receptor, and a lot of these Kratom products that are sold at gas stations across the USA are purposely fortified with higher levels of 7-OH so as to immediately hook the user.
Okay, that's always good. How do I bottle or put that into a video?
Why would anyone start taking this stuff in the first place? In the beginning, Kratom felt like a miracle drug. All I had to do was take 2 to 3 grams of this foul-tasting powder, mix it in with some orange juice, and I would feel great. The usual roadblocks in my ADHD were gone. The usual issue of having problems starting and stopping certain tasks, they weren't there at all. I felt like I was able to control my usual symptoms of ADHD so well, and it also gave me so much mental clarity. It made me feel good about myself, and the weirdest part about the headspace—
Well, stop there. Sounds great.
Kratom is when you take that drug, the feelings you get don't feel like it's because you took the drug. The feelings are, well, this is how I always am, actually. I always feel this great. I just happen to take Kratom. I'm meant to be this way. This is how it is. Kratom has this really interesting side effect of making you take more joy in the details between things, and considering that's one of my favorite parts about life is noticing little differences.
He's really selling it.
It felt dangerously in tune with my brain. But I knew this could be addictive, so I set myself some rules. If you've ever experienced addiction, you know how this story goes. I would never have Kratom 2 days in a row. There always had to be a day in between. And I would make sure to rotate the strains so I didn't develop a tolerance. Red, green, white, all on the alternate days, all every other day. And under no circumstances would I ever even think of taking Kratom more than once a day.
Dude,
I'd seen these
doing different flavors of Zyn so you don't get you don't get addicted to any one of them. That's so funny. I smoke a different brand of cigarettes every day, so there's no way I could get hooked on one.
sad stories online of these addicts who were taking Kratom every day and they were addicted to the drug, and I'm smarter than them. That could never happen to me. No way. I could have my cake and eat it too. I felt like I'd successfully found a treatment for my ADHD, and I felt like I could keep this up, and finally I could feel whole again.
I do that with weed.
then I stopped feeling whole.
I mean, the human brain just makes
I think that's what was happening.
rationalizations
In fact,
for everything.
now that I think about it, I've always sort of had this body anxiety in my chest. I can't place when it started, but no, I must have always had that because I feel it now, and I can't remember when it started, so yeah. And actually, it's kind of okay because Kratom helps remove that. It lifts up the anxiety and it's all gone, so everything's fine, right? See, the thing about rules is they're only useful until you break them. 2021 was one of the roughest years of my life. I didn't have a permanent place to live for 5 months. I was trying to get on the property ladder, and in the UK, that process is a shambolic mess. all of my stuff was in storage.
Everywhere.
I was still making weekly videos, and I felt like everyone's watching me fail miserably, as I keep getting told every single week that it's just one more week and then you'll have a house. It's just one more week. It's just one more week. Over and over.
Poor guy.
And over. The rules that I had in place to make sure that I'd feel okay, well, it was a different time. I'm feeling so stressed all the time now. And I'm sure it wouldn't hurt if I just had it instead of just every other day. Maybe every day. I'll still rotate the strains. And that's weird. The boost of joy and energy that I used to get it's not really there anymore. It's not working. I'd make up excuses. Maybe the green sludge just...
Dude, it's just crazy that every single story of addiction like tracks back to that simple animation of the bird. I seriously think that's one of the best videos ever put out. It's for all addictions, and it's so accurate, and it's so the nuggets. That nuggets bird video is so perfect and beautiful and accurate, and it just tracks to everything. It tracks to every.
Stopped working because the quality's gone back.
That's like even eating food or any addiction. It comes from like you train your brain for whenever a certain trigger happens, that's the solution. And then the groove in your brain gets deeper and deeper. That's the only path you know how to go. Even on a smaller level, I just had it with, and this sounds silly, but it's true. I just had it with TFT for, I don't know, a good while there, where every time I would sit down and I'd be reading something or working on something and I got bored, my solution to that boredom was to click the TFT button. And I would do it every time. And then eventually I was doing it like this. Every time I'd sit down, I'd do it. And I'd play a bunch of games. And when I uninstalled it recently, I noticed that I was like in a Pavlovian way, I would be working on a slide and then I would just automatically tab over and click where the logo used to be. I was like clicking the logo because it's like, it just, my brain was like, that's the trigger, that's the solution, trigger solution. And you have to break that, man. It's like, that's just how the brain works. It's like, or like for some people, it's like you get upset. If you're feeling upset, you go and eat something. You'll have a dessert or whatever to treat yourself. And like that's a problem. Like it's just based on stimulant. Like it's a trigger, and then, and I'm a big candy guy too. Whenever I'm bored or walking around, I'll have candy, and I had to get that out of the house.
And I know if you've never taken a substance like this, it can feel like this is so stupid. Obviously you wouldn't do that. This is just how addiction works. It didn't hit immediately. It insidiously took its time until I didn't realize it. But not really, because the scariest part about this, for the most part for me, I wasn't unaware. I was incredibly aware of what was going on. I knew what was happening. I knew I was taking more. I knew it wasn't doing anything. And yet I had to keep taking it because of what it was and what it could be and what I needed. I didn't want to feel anxious all the time, and this seemed to be the only thing I could do. I meditated, I did yoga, I went out for runs, I did everything that you're supposed to do to manage these anxieties and live naturally. But I also took Kratom, which supersedes all of those things.
Was it energy drinks?
I then bought myself this time-lock safe. I'd go back to the way I was. I was happy back then. I think. If I ever take any Kratom, then I store the rest of it in this safe, and I cannot access it at all until the next day if I just set the timer to over 24 hours. The next day, though, never felt successful. Never felt good. It just felt wasted. Why am I doing this again? Why can't I take more Kratom? Why do I have to control myself so much? Why not just take more? It's really not harming anything at all. It's actually helping me. I have to work, but God, I could work so much better if I could just get some Kratom. At least to stop thinking about it. I've placed some matcha powder in a bag in this safe for a demonstration. At the height of my addiction, I stood at this very counter in my kitchen, shaking and smacking the sides of my safe once I realized the bag inside was not closed tightly. Little by little, small, fine powder would escape the safe and find its way onto the counter. I stood for 20 minutes, violently shaking and smacking the box until I'd collected what I thought was just enough. I had to scrape fine dust powder into a pile, somehow use a credit card to scrape it into a mug so I could put it down my throat. I looked at myself in that moment, I could see what I was doing. I could see what I'd become. I knew it was insane, and so I came up with the conclusion it was finally about time. I maybe close the bag a bit more tightly next time. Yeah, that'll solve the problem. Next time, I shoved a knife into the side of the lid, nearly cutting my hand from the torn plastic as I accidentally split the tub right down the middle. I did it. I was okay. For one more day. But before I could find an actual way out of my addiction, I still had to contend with Kratom's legal status.
This is what you guys think I do for coffee. The way you guys talk, I don't even drink coffee. And you guys act like I'm fucking breaking. I don't drink coffee at all. Denial.
Unlike in the USA, which has no federal restrictions on the drug, the UK passed a blanket ban on all psychoactive substances in 2016, outside of a small list of very specific ones. Though I disagree with this law in theory, it was useful for me in this case. This doesn't make it impossible to get, it just makes it harder. Using it or buying it from someone within the UK isn't restricted, just the sale of it and the import.
In the USA, many states ban Kratom, but knowing how addictive the substance can be, that's nothing that a 6-hour drive across state borders can't fix. Here in Tennessee, Kratom is fully legal, but in nearby Arkansas and Alabama, it is not. So just simply drive to Tennessee and get yourself your fix. But when it comes to other countries around the world, well, in the countries that Kratom originated from, a lot of them heavily restrict the plant. And in many European countries, it is also heavily restricted. But despite everything I've told you so far, you might be surprised to hear, I don't think banning Kratom is a good idea. Mostly because I think outright banning most drugs is a bad idea. In my opinion, Kratom shouldn't be banned, but more heavily restricted so that it can only easily be accessible by way of a prescription from a licensed healthcare professional.
Who's going to prescribe
and I know a lot of
Kratom?
people might find a problem with that and say, oh, the whole point of it is it's accessible, plant-based medicine, and you don't need big pharma. But with a substance like this that has such a strong case for making people addicted to it and having negative repercussions, I think we should put that behind a healthcare professional. It always confuses me when people start vaping nicotine. You know, the thing that was started as a way to wean people off
getting
the more
off
harmful
heroin?
cigarette. Yeah, that's now causing a fresh addiction in people that have never once touched a cigarette in their lives. Why would you start that? With Kratom, because the way it plays on the opioid receptors, you might not be surprised to find out that people that are abusing drugs, such as morphine, codeine, and even full-blown heroin, have found a lot of success weaning themselves off these harder drugs by taking Kratom. These drugs can absolutely destroy your life, and the withdrawal symptoms from them can be so severe that it causes pretty much everyone to just relapse, and Kratom is helping prevent that. That can't be too bad a thing, correct? That, and for many people living with chronic pain, traditional painkillers might not be as effective, or worse, they might find themselves allergic to traditional painkillers. So Kratom acts as a natural solution.
Yeah, that makes
sense. And if you
sense.
find yourself living in chronic pain and you think you might have found a solution to that pain,
You'll do anything.
realistically, no law is going to stand in the way of you trying to help yourself.
You'll do
But that's
anything.
why a possible solution here is to regulate Kratom. Invest in Kratom studies. Make sure that it is kept up to rigorous standards and that the products are only sold in pharmacies, not just easily accessible next to the till at a gas station so that a curious person who's never heard of it before won't just pick it up and go, oh, this sounds nice.
I mean, I do agree that having a bottle that says feel free, natural, plant-based, and it's actually like a super duper addictive opioid light. That, you know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. That's absurd. People would buy it, think it's a 5-hour energy or whatever, and
I could use some energy, and then they end up with a year-long, 4-year-long, 6-year-long, hopefully not longer, addiction. I mean, good news for the gas station companies who are raking in the money, getting people hopelessly addicted to a opioid light or...
Name one person harmed by opioids. Fuck, checkmate. I didn't think you'd call me out, but actually 0 people have ever been hurt by opioids. Damn it. This is the same argument that the Sackler family used to get off scot-free. Ah, shit.
Gas station heroin, but really bad news for the American populace who don't know any better. This is the whole point of regulation. This is what we have it for, you dum-dum. You know, I originally had scripted this saying the fact that these Kratom products are sold in the back counter of gas stations should be a red flag on its own. And then I actually went into an American gas station and found the situation was significantly worse. Cigarettes? Oh yeah, those are kept in the back behind the counter. Don't want to get people to just pick them up and get them, right? Kratom? No, that was literally right next.
Aren't the cigarettes behind the counter because people steal them? Is it not because I thought it was because people, they're just like an anti-theft thing. It's not like a...
To the till. I could pick it up, grab it, and give it to the guy. That is really messed up. That should not be allowed. No, the head of the American health system is, what? What's he doing? He's saying vaccines are bad? Oh, of course. Oh, ADHD isn't real. Of course. People elect clowns and they're wondering why they're somehow in a circus all of a sudden. Anyway, that and the full effects of Kratom are rarely communicated effectively on any of these new Kratom products. You might get lucky and find some small print on the back that says something about Kratom possibly developing addiction for you, and maybe you gotta split it up into 1 or 2 doses within this very tiny bottle. But I've seen products like New Brew, for instance, which is advertised all over TikTok as the cool thing to do, like alcohol. No way. That's old people stuff. These days, Gen Zs, we take some New Brew. Yeah. Kratom is like alcohol for kids. Does that sentence not sound weird to you? Not at all? No? Like alcohol for the new age. Yeah, a healthy dose of alcoholism for the new age as well. But despite it being marketed as similar to alcohol, or even similar to coffee, the withdrawal symptoms from Kratom are anything but.
Please, one more time. One more time for the fans. Show me one more scene of you at that same kitchen counter trying to open the box, the lockbox. Just one more. I don't think this video is complete unless I know for certain you were at that counter trying to open a lockbox.
I didn't just quit Kratom once. I didn't just quit Kratom twice. Like most people who've tried to quit, I would feel super successful after I got past that initial hump of physical withdrawal symptoms and mark myself completely free. I got past the muscle aches, the sleepless nights, the flu-like symptoms, and complete and total body fatigue. But the main thing that would always bring me back was up here. It was the cravings. It would sometimes feel like Kratom was...
I can relate. I mean, this is like obviously way more egregious than any addiction that I have, but I have had bad sleep habits for my entire life. And I know that once I start making vids again regularly in February, that I'm going to hit some of the same challenges. And I'm very aware that I've had moments like, this is like a pretty good run that I'm on. I'm on like a 21-day plus run of pretty good sleep, which is like one of the longest I've gone. But I know I'm going to hit some challenges, and I really am trying to prepare myself to keep going and not let it flake this time. Like I want to do it. I want to be at the end of the year talking about good sleep and not just January, or not just like January, February. So I'm very, very aware of it. And I know that I could relapse. I've had moments where I've taken sleep seriously and then I've broken it again in the past. And so I'm trying very, very hard this time.
Was the One Ring, and anytime I wasn't on it, my brain would be calling to it, thinking about it. Maybe just a little now wouldn't be so bad. I've been pretty good so far. I bet I've reset my tolerance, and I can be good about it this time. Remember those rules? I bet I can follow them now. And
dude, guy in chat said he was up to taking 30 grams a day of Kratom. Damn, bro. Are you off now? You said this shit's so real, I was up to... That's crazy. You're off now, yeah? Good for you, man. That's heavy.
Hey, I bet it feels great. Turns out if you condition your brain to expect a substance to boost your mood every time you're low, you begin to develop a Pavlovian response. Something bad happen? You can bet your brain is already cooking up a strategy to get more Kratom. It's just the way it works. At first, I tried a strategy of keeping it out of my house, thinking that would work. But that just resulted in me feeling awful during the week until I could access some more. And at one point, I literally got more. So I just felt trapped. The only strategy that effectively worked for me was getting rid of all of it and doing everything I could not to get any more. I signed up to therapy and cut out Kratom cold turkey. And those cravings I would get would ebb and flow week after week, month after month. I'd be so close to relapsing, but luckily, it was not a thing I could get as easily in the UK, so I dealt with the cravings and intense body anxiety for over 3 months. And sure, it was a bit easier for me to avoid the temptation of Kratom in the UK, where it is much harder to get, but I did have a big problem coming up. I was about to take a big trip to America where I could easily find
USA,
Kratom while getting
baby!
gas. What if I had it again there?
Oh, I'm
What if it was
sorry,
just
you
once?
hate freedom?
Could be fine. How am I to know unless I try? I think back to one of the most pivotal moments of that trip. It's true, I could buy Kratom anywhere, and in fact, no fewer than 5 times did I look up where I could buy Kratom along my route. The cravings were insidious, yet each and every time, something stopped me from carrying through. I'd text a friend, or try to consider some wild American dish instead. I'd be around the corner from the shop that I could get some at, but I'd decide against it at the last second. I was 2 months clean, so I bet I'd be fine. I'd just have to have it once. I ended up calling a friend up from a park in Chicago to reason through my plan to just get one more fix, to just have once. And I realized that from the act of calling him, I was desperately looking for him to tell me not to take it. I thought of all the nauseous days. I thought of all the body anxiety. I thought of what my partner would think. I thought of all the shame and the grief that this had brought upon me. I thought about what I did to the counter. Why would I want to risk that again? Even if I did just take one bit, one more time, wouldn't that possibly reset the clock in my body yearning to feel it again?
Bro needs a
For
Zyn.
what? Would any sort of feeling be remotely worth that? Here I am, spending some valuable time that I have on this earth in a lovely park in Chicago on the phone with a friend talking about some stupid green sludge. I ended the call with my friend, and I did end up walking into that store that sold Kratom.
Damn, what?
I looked at the many bags on the shelves. I even had a chat with the guy behind the counter. And then I ended up taking this photo. Fuck Kratom.
These guys have
It
been
turns out the only way I could find to
dramatic
successfully shake my
Daryl, but I
addiction
think he's being
was
real. I
fully
mean, it sounds like he was really
admitting my addiction
addicted.
was bigger than me. I don't have the self-control to fight against a thing that causes chemical imbalances in my brain. I'm not smarter than anyone else that also got addicted. We're one and the same, human. Unless I can fully shake myself from its grasp, I can't trust myself to ever have it again. Who knows if it'd be
I
like
need to
the
film videos like this, bro. Every Big Ed clip's just me in this damn room. I need to be on like a fucking bike or at my kitchen counter or like surfing or something. And then I'm just talking about the economy. It just adds a little more pop to the scene.
Who knows if that'd be enough? Who knows if I'd want more? No. I think that's just about enough. To take anything.
Dude, it'd be so funny if he was like insanely addicted to WoW or something. Yeah, I found this new joy in playing video games. And he's like playing fucking 18 hours a day of WoW. EVE Online. I don't know. It's tough, man, because we all have something. That was a good. I mean, I was interested in the video. Thanks for making it. We all got something, bro. Especially in you know, people are in. Like I said, I think this is a year of retreat, man. I guess I didn't make the video yet, but a year of retreat. I think people are like, well, not everybody, but many people are like retreating back into comfortable habits and escapism stuff because it's a fucking crazy world. I think people are anyway, guys, I appreciate your comments today, and I appreciate you being here for the stream, and thanks for being here. And I'm gonna end stream now. I should be back tomorrow, but I don't want to make any promises while I'm still in January. I'm getting a lot done, health wise and otherwise. And I really think this Age of Empires video is gonna be a banger. Sevens, thanks for watching. Please look forward to the Iran presentation I have worked hard on. I think it'll be good. Okay, goodbye. I'll raid Lud if he's live. Is he still live? Go watch Luddy. Red Ludwig. I'm gonna go get some Kratom and a Zyn and a couple cigarettes and some weed. And I'm gonna play fucking TFT for 3 hours. I'm gonna stay up till 3 a.m., not sleep, eat sour candy, scroll some TikTok, and then tomorrow kick it off with some Bent. Goodbye.